What's happening, people? How y'all doing this Saturday? Appreciate y'all as always. Thank you for tuning in. We are back. You see it, Cup of Joe or Joanne, like I said. You know, it's another beautiful day. Every time. See, this is why you just gotta wake up and live life. Happy to be alive. Happy to be here with you guys, chopping it up. Um, they said it's going to be cloudy outside. Wake up, it's beautiful, it's sunny. Now it could still change, but at least right now it looks good. Looks good, man. So thank you guys for you know being able to get up and tune in. I appreciate y'all. Um, JJ, what's good, man? Salute. Appreciate you. Kareem, what's good? Salute. Um, yeah. So this is a fun weekend for us, huh? We got a lot going on. We got Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, and to the mothers who have been holding it down like fathers. Uh, Also, we got the first national celebrated experience for Juneteenth. Uh, so that's on Monday. Should be interesting. Yeah, man. I think we're in for a very interesting weekend, and I think that no matter what happens, it's just whatever you do, make the best of it. Have fun out there. Um, Enjoy your time with your loved ones and your friends and stuff. And listen, that's all we can do. We gotta make the best of life because it's always changing. There's always something new that we're dealing with. Now people going crazy, and I can't blame them, man. These gas prices is nuts, right? So uh, it really stinks because some people are like, uh, changing what they do. Like they got plans, and they're like, nah, I can't do that. I'm not doing it. I ain't going on this little mini family vacation and stuff like that because the driving and the gas and add that with the tolls and the cost of everything. They're like, yeah, nah, I'm good. So yeah, man. Hopefully they get the gas thing under control, man. I know how it's affecting everybody. Salute Don P. Was good, bro. Was good. Salute to Shaw Powers. Appreciate you as always. Um, Salute to my man. He ain't in here, but I'm salute to my man Uncle Freezy. I know he wasn't able to do his morning drive show yesterday, and so I know he started doing one early this morning. Uh, and I saw he gave me a shout out. I appreciate that, and also mentioned the show. So thank you, Uncle Freezy. Appreciate that. Harlem girl, what's good? Salute. Um, let me do this because I don't want to forget. Get that out the way. Right. So that's there. Boom. Um, Let me also send out the bat signal. I got a little crazy. I forgot to do that this morning. Hold on 1 second. Angel Torres, what's good? Salute, brother. Salute. What up, Don P?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Ron? How's it going, man?
I'm okay. You good?
Yeah, hey, man, I'm trying to get better, man. Yeah, I'm on the side of the road right now on the highway, man.
Oh yeah, I was just flipping over from Freezy trying to start the show, and I
Yeah,
thought that was you who I heard say that. Everything. I hope you're all right, brother.
hey, man. Only thing keeping my spirits up right now is talking about these Knicks, man. I get to complain about the
Well,
Knicks.
damn. I don't know. Is that a good thing?
Hey, it's a stress reliever. You feel me?
I hear you. I hear you. Well, I hope everything it goes good over there, man. I don't know. Did you got some help coming to get you up out of there or what?
I'm trying to figure all that out. I'm making phone calls, so like periodically I'll dip out to make a phone call here and there.
All
Uh,
right, no doubt, man. Do
yeah,
what you got to do. Most important is your safety and getting from where you at and getting to where you got to be.
no doubt, man, for sure, man. So what's the topic of the show, man?
Well, I mean, there's a couple different things. Um, damn it, I was supposed to have a video ready for it. Let me see if I can still do it. Yeah, because I want to do it. I want to do it right. Give this dude a little bit of acknowledgement. Salute to him. But I'll get back to that later. But what I did want to start off by saying is, first off, happy birthday to my man IQ, who turned 23 this week. I think it was yesterday. And happy birthday to RJ, who turned 22 this week. So our young pups is getting older. Let me see here. Infamous New King, what's going on? Salute. Almighty Finesse, appreciate you as always. I was talking about this last night on Worldwide L and Paul Will show for the love of the game. RJ got a new tattoo on his chest, right? And the funny thing is, as I'm looking at it, I'm asking these guys, what do they think about the tattoo? Like, what does it mean? How is that, going to affect RJ going forward? Because RJ's the type, he seems to be a very superstitious type dude. If you watch him before every Knick game, he does the same thing. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's trying to get his head on straight. He does the whole thing. He's locking in with his head. I don't know what he's doing, but he does it every game right before he takes the court. Right. So as I was talking to these guys, they were like, yo, like what's the tattoo look like? I haven't really seen it. And I'm saying it right. And I noticed I didn't really see it either. I just knew it looked like a timepiece or something. So he's got like something on his chest and his I don't know, I think it's got flowers or some roses or something around it, but in the middle is an actual clock, right? So then I looked at the clock, and the clock, it looks like one of them old timepiece like watches, them old, maybe it's a stop clock type look, whatever. The point is the hands on it are at 9 o'clock. So then I was trying to think, and I was like, maybe it's not that deep. Maybe he's just trying to say that it's 9 o'clock and his number's 9. Maybe he's trying to say my time is now. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's his mindset. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
It could be. But I just look at things like, because RJ, when he does stuff, he does it for certain reasons. Like he has there's always something going on with
he
how
ain't
he does
JR, he ain't JR Smith.
Yeah.
Anything he want to tat, he's just gonna tat it up.
Right.
But
thank you, boss. Appreciate that, New King. Appreciate you, brother.
I gotta give you a shout out, Ron. You made me a believer of what's his name, RJ Barrett. You made me a believer, man. And now I still question his talent.
Mm-hmm.
I still question his upside, but I like his attitude. I like the potential leadership he could bring to this team.
Yeah,
I like his approach to the game and whatever, man. And I was real down on RJ before I heard you big him up, but I mean I have faith in him. I'm gonna say I have faith in the kid. I'm rooting for him. I hope he proves me wrong about his talent. I hope he proves me wrong about his upside. So I have faith in him. Well, I'm rooting for him. Let's put it that way.
That's good, man. That's what we want. I mean, at least we want to be able to believe in these guys. What up, Sean Kearns? Appreciate you. We want to be able to believe in them, man. Hopefully, they do what they got to do. Eventually, they get it together, and everything works out. The coach is on the same page, the front office is on the same page, and the players just have a chance to play. And that's the thing. Like, I guess more than ever now, you're starting to see media and Knick fans start to say, well, you know what? It's been all about Randall this, Randall that, and no one's really talking about RJ. But RJ is starting to feel a little that those questions, the criticism is starting to come a little heavier for him, and it's warranted. It's supposed to happen, but the reason why it hasn't happened as much is because of the fact that we know RJ was young. RJ did ball and do certain things that we liked. Last year, he had a little bit of a regression in his defense and his efficiency. Even though he put up more numbers, they weren't as efficient. So that was a negative, right? And people starting to point to that. But as fans, if you watch the Knicks and you love the Knicks and you see RJ from when he got with this team, there's something about him that you like, that you don't want to talk bad about. Like, okay, it is what it is. You're going to have to criticize him if he does something wrong, but you're not going to go after him the way you go after somebody else because he's a good kid. And that it is what it is. That's life. That's how it is. You know, it's something you just can't avoid that. That's just how it is. If you're a good person, if you put out that type of energy and you carry yourself the right way, people don't come at you the same way they'll come at somebody that they know is kind of iffy. So it is, you know, but he deserves criticism too, though. But I hear you though. I'm glad that you looking at him a little differently because I think he deserves it, but he got to step up too. This is a show and prove year for him as well. He knows that because he's also, I mean, he's a businessman. He's trying to get his money too.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's just the thing. You know, when you looked at scouting reports of RJ Barrett before he was drafted, there was one thing I particularly had concerns about. And if you look on his weaknesses, a lot of scouting reports will say, even though he appears to be better than all his peers, well, most of his peers, he have seemed to have peaked. And that notion of, he's peaked in college, he's peaked in high school. And I get why they're saying that now. You know what I mean? Like, but then I think about it like, you know, you look at a player like Paul Pierce, you know, he wasn't gifted with athleticism and a shooting stroke like Ray Allen or whatever, but he was able to get his regardless. You look at a player like Kyle Lowry, who wasn't athletically gifted or didn't have to have the ideal measurements, but he was able to get his. So when you look at players like that, that's another thing that allows me to have faith in somebody like RJ.
Right.
I don't know how his work ethic is. I hope it's similar to Jimmy Butler's, but Jimmy Butler's is that's one of a kind right there. That's next level Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan work ethic. I ain't saying he's as good as them. I'm just saying his relentlessness and his approach to everything is just that's another tier. I just hope RJ can get to that point as well with his mental, if he's not already.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's that's a different level of work. And don't get me wrong, RJ is a hard worker. You know, they've been bigging up IQ about his work ethic and what he's been doing, you know, how he's been in the gym. Like you got to get him out of the gym, you know, got to check on him and make sure he's not in the gym when the lights is being shut off and stuff. But RJ has been that way with the Knicks as well. Like with the Knicks, when he first got here, he was one of the people that was always in the gym. He was one of the first people in the gym prior to quickly even being on the team. Randall was too, actually. And, you know, the story is how Randall would go to certain gyms on the road. And just so happens maybe Kobe attended the same gym. And the guy who runs the gym, who the custodian or whatever, would be like, yeah, man, we used to have to always keep this gym open for Kobe. So it's the same thing. Like Randall, they have the work ethic. It's just other things that have been going on that impede the process. It's the focus. It's the different things that happen on, you know, with regards to the coach and what he's running and how he's using the players. There's a lot of different things that go into place. But I think one thing I can say about what the Knicks were trying to do with the culture and with these players is they've been good at picking guys who have work ethic and want to play.
Yeah, I sound hypocritical about talking against Tibbs because I was for Tibbs coming over here. You know what I mean? I think of defense first, and I think Tibbs, you know, he's the right dude. But after looking at the Bulls, how he runs the offense over there, how he runs the offense in Minnesota Timberwolves. When they had young talent, they had a lot of young talent. Yeah, I expect them to come out of the West every year and they disappoint. But that was during the time when Tibbs and what's his name, Kurt Rambis was there. And I think to myself, like, is Tibbs putting everybody in the right positions to get easy looks? Like, how is his offense? Because if you look at Derrick Rose, he wasn't running many pick and rolls for Derrick Rose. I'm talking about in his MVP year, everything was ISO, 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 ISO. Let Derrick Rose utilize his talents till his full extent to get the team over the hump and let the defense keep them in the game. And I'm thinking to myself right now, like, will that be feasible for this Knicks team? Yes, we made the 4th seed. We have with defense and doing just that, run the ISO with Randall, but we all seen what happened in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So it's my thing is he gonna put RJ in a better position to succeed? Because you said it best, Ron. RJ is at his best at the 2 because his main game, if nothing else, is to bully opposing 2s in the paint when he's going for a layup or something. So if you put him at the 3, is that going to put him in the best position to succeed? That's a question that I ask. You know what I mean? As far as Randall goes, Randall came up in the league running pick and rolls, bullying his way to the rim. Him running ISOs, is that putting him in the best position to succeed? Like, I question that. I don't know if it's Tibbs. I don't know if it's the players. I just think that we have talent in our team. You're not going to tell me that Charlotte is that much better than us, or some of these other teams is that much better than us. I think we have the talent. It's not meshing well. At least offensively, it's not. I don't know if it's me, Ryan. You muted.
My fault. I must have hit that by accident. I think I hit it on my mic and I didn't know I did that. Damn. My apologies, everybody. Yeah. So what I was saying is, I think that let me get Subliminal up in here. What up, Sub?
What's good? What's good, fellas?
What's
What's
happening?
up, Subliminal?
So I apologize. I didn't know that I must have hit the thing, like, because this mic is real sensitive. I don't know if y'all got a mic like this. I could just hover over it, and if I'm too low, I hit the mute. So yeah, I think that RJ playing the 3, it can work for the Knicks, but I prefer if he's in a situation where he's at the 2. And I thought that when we got Cam Reddish, you know how fans are. You think automatically, oh, as soon as they get Cam's a good player. They're going to plug him right in. No, this is Thibodeau's offense. So I can't forget that Thibodeau's going to play who he wants to play when he wants to play him. So I was hoping that was going to be the case. Now, the only bright thing that made me feel a little better was the fact that they changed the way they were using RJ, right? Because I thought that was important. I thought the fact that they decided to now give RJ the ability to, get the ball at different spots in the court and orchestrate more rather than just being like on the perimeter, being the kick out guy, like allowing Julius to orchestrate or anybody else to orchestrate and then kicking it to RJ. Because 1, you expecting him to be more of a spot up shooter. 2, you giving him the ball, even if you say, oh, well, RJ has the keys to the license to kind of move around, and what you're giving it to him when there's less time on the shot clock. So he can't really do as much. Whereas when you're giving it to him early in the middle of the court, he can see the whole court and he can do different things. He can react differently. And we saw when they first started doing that, I think it was around, I don't know if it was January or February. Maybe it started in January. We started to see the Knicks were moving the ball better. Things were happening. And RJ started looking better. Because remember, RJ started off good, and then like a couple games, and then he had a horrible slump, right? And I think around that time is when he started to really be a little bit more consistent and break out of it, even if he was still shooting poorly from the free throw line and other things. So I thought that helped. I thought that was good. And I think when you see RJ at the 3 doing things, backing guys down, getting into the paint, it's one thing. But when you see him at the 2 doing it against these smaller shooting guards who are like smaller frame and everything, he bullies them, man. So I just think you got to, if you got your team, you know what you got to use it to the best of their ability, man. So they need to switch that up.
I think they need to do that more as far as putting RJ in the low block, you know what I'm saying, or in the pinch post, you know what I'm saying. Let him work his work right there, because he's a good passer as well, and he can facilitate for others. So if he's eating right there on the smaller guard on the pinch post, you know what I'm saying, he can either get all the way back or kick it out. So I don't think they do enough of that. As far as the 2 or 3, it doesn't matter to me offensively, because RJ is strong enough to bully both of those positions. It's just the defensive part, as far as him guarding a 2, you know what I mean, for them being too quick out there and him not having that lateral movement. So they need to bring in, and that's why Grimes is so helpful out there when they're on the floor together, because RJ could work that pinch post or whatever and kick it out to Grimes, since he's a 3-point specialist or shooter, or whatever you want to call it, 3 and D. Then that allows Grimes to guard the better perimeter, you know, guard the better player offensively, whether he's a shooting guard or small forward, you know what I'm saying? So I like that, them together on the court. And I feel like they should do the same thing in this draft, is try to bring in somebody who, you know, we have Tom Thibodeau as our defensive minded coach. So whoever, you know, we draft has to have that same mentality, knowing that that's the way you're going to get on the court, is by your defense.
I agree with that. That makes sense.
Since I got you, since I'm on your show right now, who do you like at 11? Because I saw you in the chat in our show the other day, and I appreciate you sliding through. You know what I'm saying, but I didn't get a chance to hear. I know you didn't want Ivey. You know, I mean, like giving up so much for Ivey at 4, but who are you really looking at 11 if we stay put?
Let's see.
Put you on the spot.
No. You good. I feel like I've been thinking about this a lot. So the problem is there's just so many different players that I like, and I'm like,
right.
Even if I like this guy, I think, oh, maybe this guy might fit too. I'm getting a little confused sometimes, man.
Yeah, you kind of get in your own head. The more you got to think about, like, oh, okay, is this guy the right fit? Do we need this over that? You know, so just throw a couple players out there, because that exact player might not be on the board, you know, at 11 when you pick.
Right. That's the thing. What were you saying, Don P?
I said I would like to respond to that question after you, man.
Yeah. So, well, you know what? Let me answer, but let me just shout these people out before I forget. Salute Danny Lee, Ad J, appreciate you. Good to see you. Pudge Nice in the building. Building Blocks, what's good? Bodega Wi-Fi, what's up? Good to see you. Brahim is in the building. What's going on, bro? And salute to my man Marvin. How you doing, Marvin? You good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Good morning, guys. Good morning to the panel. Good morning to the chat. How you guys doing? Just listening up right now. I'll chime in whenever I get a chance.
Okay. Good. El Survey's in the building as well. I'm gonna get to this super chat in a little bit, so I'm gonna hold that, Danny. I'm gonna get to you and thank you and appreciate it. So all right, honestly, I'm gonna say it. I know he ain't gonna be there, so like, okay, wait. So you want me to just tell you who I really want, or be realistic?
Realistic.
Okay, all right. Oh. I think realistically, because of all the shifting that's happening, I mean, it's real slim chance, because he could go at 10, but I have a feeling like Johnny Davis might be there at 11. I'm like a slim shot that he could be there at 11. And if Johnny Davis is there, man, I'm rocking with Johnny Davis. But if he's not, because he might not be there, I'm torn, man. Because honestly, Sohan, there's a lot of people keep telling me, you know, the benefits of him. And I'm thinking, I'm so confused of what Thibodeau and what this organization is trying to do with this Knick team. And I would really like, even if I can't figure out what they're doing, they might throw anybody in this mix. They might decide to go out and get a D'Angelo Russell or whoever, some type of, might get a Sexton, who knows, right? So if you do something like that, it's nice to be able to have because at least you know you're going to have a defensive guy who's going to hold them down. So if you bring in a guy like D'Angelo Russell who doesn't play good defense, you know you're going to have somebody who can help on the perimeter with other players like these you know, stretch bigs or whatever. And he's good enough that he can guard twos. I don't know about ones, but he can guard twos, threes, fours, and fives. He's fast. He's got good speed. So that's why I think about it. But if none of the guys that I really want, the Ivies, the Matherings, the Johnny Davises are there, I still feel like the Knicks need to try to get somebody who is of a wing style. So I would go with Agbaji. I think I'd go with Agbaji.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
and that's a dope hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice right there. So what about you, Don P?
All right. Like, I don't know if y'all know my position on the shooting guards that we already have. I think none of them really are scrubs. All of them are there doing what they're supposed to do, all the way from Evan Fournier down to Alec Burks, no matter what we think of them. So with that case, I would not choose a Johnny Davis for our two, but I think we need more depth at the three who could defend as well. So if it's not Solchan, then Tari Eason. I like Tari Eason at the three. If not him, we don't know what's going to happen with Mitch, and I really don't want to overpay for a center if Mitch walks. So, Jalen Duren for our 11th spot. Jalen Duren or Mark Williams, one of the three, and that's if one of them fall to us. Besides Tari Eason.
Marvin, what do you think, brother?
Well, you know, looking at the draft, guys, I don't know if the Knicks are going to go for what exactly they need or the best player available. And we all know they need a point guard. So I would consider Jaden Ivey if he's there. I don't think he will be, but I think Ty Washington will be. I'm not sure as everybody, I mean, people being too high on him, but if you're going to draft for your needs, I think you're going to look for a point guard. But I mean, I like Johnny Davis actually better than Ty Washington. So I would say Johnny Davis if he's available. He kind of, you know, checks all the boxes that the Knicks need. So I would say Johnny Davis.
If Johnny Davis ain't there, you said you're going Ty?
More than likely, I would. You know, that's a toss up there, because if Johnny Davis isn't there, do you go for the next available best player on the board? That would be the question next. And
what is that? Sorry to cut you off, though. I just wanted to ask you, what does that mean to you, though? Best player available? Does that mean, you know, just the guy that has all the tools, or the guy who's just a bucket getter, or what is best player available?
I would consider that as the best player, guard, forward, center, either or. And then if he doesn't fit our needs, then you look to package him in a deal to try to get your best, possible need. But if Ty Washington is there, I don't know if you're putting all your eggs in one basket and he doesn't pan out. You know, like I say, with the 11th pick, it's kind of difficult, man. But if you can get, like I say, if Johnny Davis is not there, Ty is there, I guess if you're going to be realistic, I guess you would have to go with Ty.
So I want to get to what I'm curious what Subliminal who he's got. So you're not concerned, because remember that we say it on the benefit side. We haven't really seen much of the benefit yet, but we're always talking about this organization and the relationships. Y'all really think I just thought about this right now. Y'all really think that the Knicks would draft Ty Washington, who was a point guard in Kentucky, like after Quickly, who was a point guard in Kentucky, and you know, take the keys away from Quickly and give it to Ty? I'm just thinking relationship wise, because I think that, you know, psyche wise, I get it if you bring in a guy who's better suited for the point guard position than Quickly maybe at this point, but I don't know if Ty is that. And technically Ty is like under Quickly, like it's Maxey, Quickly, Ty. I just don't know if they would give the keys to Ty, knowing that they got Quickly here and they're grooming him and he's working towards this. I don't know if they do it.
Well, and you know, I just want to add, just say something on that, Ron. That's why I said I would probably draft the most talented player next on the board and put him in a pack to get exactly what you need, because I don't think they would play Ty either. So I think it would be the most next best player on the board and then try to put him in a package to get exactly what you need.
Right.
So let me break it down to you guys real quick and my terminology and how my line of thinking is. So if this was a football, draft, would you draft a quarterback at 11? Like, nah, right?
No.
You gotta draft the quarterbacks in the top 3, depending on how many there are. There is no point guard that is, if Ivey was a true point guard, he would go number 1 overall. But they're kind of forcing him to go into that. Not they, but us as fans are kind of, he could play point guard. We could run him at point. Let's move up all the way to 4 and pick him up, even though that's not really his position. So instead of forcing that, because these guys, they're not they're like a dual threat quarterback. They're not a pocket pass quarterback who's gonna, find guys in their spots. So then, if going through all the reads, just understanding the game, then if that's not open, they take off. A lot of guys like Dyson Daniels, he's like, he sees plays, he sees the passes, he sees the open guys, but he just can't create his own bucket. He can't shoot threes. He can't get all the way to the cup. He has no mid-range game. It's all floaters. So why reach, for guys like that? Why reach at Ty when he's actually in Tankathon somewhere around like 15 or so? So don't reach at that point. Like you mentioned, even though it's best player available, I like Johnny Davis. He's on my board too. I would take him realistically second over Benedict Mathurin. I'd take Benny first, but I don't think Benny's going to be there. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. If we're going to get a point guard, in the second round, let him go, toe to toe with Deuce, because these guys have so many holes in their game that even if we were to get a point guard, we all know that Tibbs is not going to give him the keys right away. He got to earn his minutes regardless. So why waste the pick like that so high in the lottery or in the draft, where you're going to groom this guy anyways, and just let him groom. I'm saying slowly, let him put him in the slow cooker and let him just work his way into the rotation.
Yeah, and honestly, the other thing is, like, as much as Ty Washington could turn out to be a really good guard, point guard in the league. I mean, he's definitely got great court vision. He's dealt with injuries. I know there's people that like him and have expressed to me that he's dealt with injuries. He's been in a position where he didn't really have a chance to really do, he's a system player, so he fit into the system, but you really didn't get a chance to see the best of Ty. And I understand that. So he could turn out to be a really good player, but I got to tell you, there's guys in this draft that are maybe not projected as first rounds players. They could be first round talent, but they're not projected as that I really like. I mean, I really like some other guys. I don't want to name them because I feel like if I put them out there, something bad's gonna happen. Somebody else is gonna take them. But there is guys like, we talk about Dalen Terry all the time. Like, Dalen Terry, to me, I think that kid is gonna be a baller. I think whoever gets him is going to be pleasantly surprised. And I'm not saying that he's going to shock the world, but I think he could turn into something really special and a late round pick, and you benefited. And there's guys like that. There's other guys that are projects that may take more time. So my whole thing is, it depends on what the Knicks can do. Like, if you can go get somebody that you really want at 11, and he lands at you, like, I would be happy if the Knicks got a Johnny Davis at 11. Then you feel more inclined to take a chance with a guy that you can kind of build with later.
Right.
You might say, well, we're already doing that with Deuce. Well, okay. And Deuce has shown us a little something in the G League, and he's had little moments. But if they're not gonna take on too many projects, then you might have to flip Deuce and send him somewhere else to get more of a player who can fit the scheme of the team right now, that can play now, and you still got that guy that's a little bit of a project at point guard later. You gotta move around, man. The Knicks they gotta stop standing still and start making some moves. I'm not one of those guys. 1 second. I'm not one of those guys that's ready to give up on the youth movement. I want the youth movement, but I understand that as a team, they probably want to put a little bit better of a product out there and start winning a little bit more consistently. So you just got to mix and match. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, to Subliminal's point, I definitely agree with him. With having Tom Thibodeau, your hands are kind of tied because we know what he's about and how he plays young guys. So that's why I mentioned picking this guy at the 11th spot, hoping somebody's interested in it, and then using him in a package to get exactly what you need at your point. I don't know if you remember, Ron, but I mentioned once about Reggie Jackson coming out, who's on the Clippers. Now he's on an expiring contract. He's got a 2-year deal for $10 million. And he's real, to me, he fits the mold. He fits the New York Knicks. I think he can handle the pressure. I think he would be a good fit because I really believe that the Knicks need a veteran point guard. I'm on the same side with Subliminal, and it's in the case of Tom Thibodeau, we're unsure if he's going to play a young guy. And then you're right, you had Quickly come in. I think it wouldn't be such a hard thing for Tibbs to play Jackson over Quickly because of his experience, and I think he fits the bill pretty good. What you guys think?
Well, I should let somebody else go because when it gets to me, it's probably not going to be that great. Go ahead, Sub.
All right, I just want to go back on the Ty thing though, because it is a question mark. Like, is a lot of the times he was hurt, like you mentioned. So he started off good, then he got hurt, then he came back. He wasn't the same, but we have that Kentucky connection. So if any team knows anything about Ty, we are the team that knows, top from bottom, his favorite foods, what his hobbies are, just all those types of things. So if they do pick him at 11, that makes me feel like they know everything about him and that he could be that starting point guard. So just because I don't know nothing about him, I don't know those things about him, kind of like a lot of us don't know about Shaden. I almost said Shaden. Yeah, Shaden Sharp.
Shaden Sharp, right?
Yeah, a lot of the mystery man of just because a lot of us don't know him doesn't mean if he's available at that pick, the Knicks don't know a lot about him either. Now, as far as a point guard and going after, I'm tired of these guys these veterans that we get in for a year or two. They kind of stop the development of our younger players. If they're not going to be here for long term, then what's the point of getting them? If they don't fit the timeline, then kind of what's the point of getting them? So if we're going to go get a veteran point guard, I'd rather it be a young veteran point guard that fits the timeline. Kind of like, we all know the rumors right now going around Jalen Brunson. We know he's that dog mentality. We brought in his pops, Rick Brunson. If that's the route they're willing to go, then I'm down with that. Colin Sexton is another one that's available out there. Just a dog mentality. Just bring me a dog. Just someone that fits the timeline and could get his own bucket, because both of those guys can get their own buckets and are willing defenders. He's Colin Sexton is not the best defender though, but at the same time, he's going to get full effort out there. And the way he beat Brooklyn by himself, like he just is willing to take on anybody. You know what I'm saying? And he could get his own bucket. He could be a guy that could be a closer for us, because we don't know if not RJ, but Julius Randle doesn't like taking those. He misses those game winners. He doesn't like going to the free throw line at the end of the game, though. So if we could put the rock in somebody else's hand at the end of the game, that guy may be it. I don't want to go after what's the other Brogdon, another injury-prone point guard. I don't want to go that route. I want somebody young. So that's kind of my line of thinking.
I hear you.
I agree. Ron, if you could, I'm going to step back and mute my mic. I got a call coming in, so I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, sure. Unfortunately, I'm one of those few people that doesn't like Reggie Jackson. I've never really been that enamored with him, even though I know he's got skills. I liked what he was doing in OKC, but my thing with Reggie Jackson is I feel like it's kind of, I want to be fair when I say it, because it's kind of like the Andrew Wiggins thing. I think Andrew Wiggins was in not a tough spot, but he was asked to be the man, and he wasn't ready to be the man in Minnesota. Now in Golden State, when he's got all these other guys that take the pressure off him, Wiggins can just go out and ball. Not only is he looking good on offense, he's looking great on defense, and this dude is even rebounding. Like he can focus on other things, and he's not, the focal point. I think it's so much relief for him. So when I look at Reggie Jackson, I see that this year, they had no Kawhi. So Reggie obviously knew he was going to be a bigger focal point. Okay, while Paul George was there, he was doing his thing, no problem. Paul George goes down, now it's just Reggie. And that cast of characters over there with the Clippers, it didn't look as good when the main pieces aren't there. So watching Reggie, like and maybe because I play fantasy basketball, having him on my team, I see the numbers he's not putting up, and I'm like, well, why isn't he? Like, he's the man. The ball's going, but he had some really poor shooting nights, man. Like, I'm talking 4 for 20, like wild nights. And so I'm just looking at his consistency, and I just feel like when he's the man, he doesn't step up as much. But when he's got other guys around him that take that pressure away, he can just ball under the radar and does, that's how I look at him. So I don't think the Knicks, I think as Knicks fans, we've been looking for a guy who could be the man or guys who have that mentality. So that's why I think he is not my pick. But I get it. He's not a bad player. I'm just like, that's how I look at him.
But that's what I'm saying, though, Ron, is that whoever we get, we've been wanting a point guard for so long that the expectations are going to be so high. So whoever we bring in is going to get thrown into the lion's den, and we're going to eat this cat alive.
It's true. It's true.
So everything we do, we look under a microscope and like, okay, his ball handling isn't. He can't handle the rock tight. His jumpers off. His field goal percentage is this. His 3-point percentage is that. So whoever we bring in better be able to take the lights of New York. You know what I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying we need dog mentality. Someone who's not worried about that and just going to play his game regardless. Someone who doesn't worry about the outside noise. Is laser focused and can just play his game. And it is what it is. Just leaving it all on the court. And that's kind of who I want to bring in. Just don't bring in anybody,
Right.
I'll wait because I know IQ has ice in his veins. I know IQ ain't worried about the outside noise. So just give him the keys if we don't find that guy, and just let him go through the trials and tribulations, because I feel like he could take that pressure. Is he our franchise point guard? Maybe not, but for the time being, don't just swing for the fences and then strike out.
Hey, Subliminal, where did ice in my veins come from?
What's that?
I said, where did that term ice in my veins, where that come from?
I don't know who made it up, but I know it's real though. You know what I'm saying? Like him and
Angela Russell, my man.
Okay. Him and RJ, they both got it.
Yeah.
That's one thing you never have to question is their mentality and what they bring to the table, their work ethic, all those types of things.
Yeah, see, my whole thing about positionless basketball, I think the game is moving towards that, but I don't think a lot of teams have the luxury. I don't think the teams have the luxury of playing positionless basketball, because not all of us have a Giannis, not all of us have a LeBron James to make at a different position other than the point guard. So when we say things like, it's moving in positionless basketball, or I don't see a team making it to the playoffs who has a traditional point guard, because you have players like LeBron James. You have ascended talent at all these other positions. You know what I mean? We don't have that. Unless we're talking about RJ being like a premier playmaker, then we can afford to have a point guard who's aiming to score, who's aiming to get a bucket. But until then, we don't have the luxury to play positionless basketball per se, because we don't have many people with the skill set to be versatile on our team already as is.
Yeah, but that's why Ron is so high on Johnny Davis, because Johnny Davis and RJ could bring the ball up, you know what I'm saying, and facilitate for others while creating their own bucket and being deadly in the midi. Just understanding the game, having high IQ, being able to get screens, rebound get on the boards, clean the glass, those types of things. Play in your chest, play hard-nosed defense, fight through screens. Like, those are the types of guys that we want, and that's why, if he's available at that position, okay, just get that position of need. Let's play team ball right now until we get that missing piece. We're not winning anything anyways. Are we really winning a chip next year if we bring in one of these point guards? Nah, a Reggie Jackson, a Brogdon, How we not winning the chip. So let's like build organically. Let's build that chemistry. Let's find our strengths. Work on that together. And then we'll when the time is right, we'll go all in. Put all our chips in, all the first round picks. All whatever's there. Then go get that guy. But right now, there's just too many holes on our roster to do that right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Let me shout out a couple more people who joined up, and then I want to get to these super chats because it's going to lead me into new topic. Let's see. Salute to my man Visions. What's good? D Coolest in the building. We surveyed 100 people's here. Frank Matos, King Imbert. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. And salute to my man Uncle Freezy from Blorange Tears. Thank you for the generous super chat. Appreciate you. Good to see you as always. Yeah, man. Freezy was dealing with something I've dealt with a couple times already on the show. When the man comes and gets you, man, they try to shut you down. Yeah, I realized I was trying to tell him in the chat. I know he saw it probably after the fact. And this is just a heads up I'm saying this to all y'all. So that way, if y'all, because I know y'all show mad love, Subliminal has a show, and then other people join, the chats for other shows. If you rocking with any of the shows and whoever's running the show is showing a highlight, but it's continuous, like it's just up on the screen while you're talking, let them know to take it down after a while, because I think for whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm, it's a computer, it's a machine, whatever. It looks at something and it sees a highlight continuously playing. It thinks you're trying to broadcast the game and it'll shut you down. So that's how they be doing things, man. I had to get on the thing with YouTube and like, yo, what's going on? But that's what they explained to me. So that's why I gather. So it is what it is. So yeah, definitely salute to my man. Salute to Danny Lee. Thank you for appreciate the generous super chat. All right. So you know what? I'm gonna drop this down, Danny, and I'm gonna come right back to it because I want to do this real quick and then come, because this is gonna be a big focal point of what we're talking about, and we're gonna talk about this for a minute. But I got to get this out of the way before we get there, because this is only right, man. It is what it is right now, fellas. First off, shout out to Shah Money. What's going on, brother?
Salute.
Don P is in and out with us, guys, because I don't know if y'all heard. Don P is on the side of the road. He's trying to get out of his situation. I think he's broken down right now. So hopefully, if anybody's out there, wherever he at, if you see him, give him a water or something now. But I'm hoping he gets up out of there and gets where he needs to go safely.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, bear with me, y'all. I am.
Any luck yet? Yeah.
I'm having one of my mechanics coming over to see what's up.
All right, good.
Get some money up, man. It's all good.
All right. I want you to get up out of there. I want you to be safe, brother. So let me do this real quick because you know what? It's only right, as we like to say, once a Knick, always a Knick. Shout out to my man Landry Fields. Yo, remember when Landry Fields came here with the Lynn Sanity, my man from Stanford, him and Jeremy Lin bunking beds, chilling in the hotel together. I think Jeremy Lin slept on Landry Fields' couch because he had no place else to stay. Landry Fields used to get buckets for us, man. He wasn't the greatest shooter, but he had spunk. He had good defense. He had some hops. He was a really good rebounder for his position at the guard. Salute to him, man. He's a smart guy. I kind of forgot that Landry Fields was the assistant general manager for the Atlanta Hawks. But shout out to him this week. They blessed him, and they hired him as the general manager of the Hawks. He's the man over there, folks. Landry Fields. Once a Knick, always a Knick, man. Shout out to him, man. I think that's really cool, man, because we talk about these guys. Some of these guys be getting positions, and they don't deserve a position. They just get in because, he was a great Knick. Here, take this. You're the director of blue shirts this week. Like, Landry's actually a smart dude, man. So he knows what he's doing, and apparently the Hawks appreciate his efforts, man. Yeah, so I just wanted to give him a quick shout out because, like I said, once a Knick, always a Knick. Plus, I actually really liked Landry Fields while he was here. I thought he was really cool, And I think he helped the whole Insanity experience, man. He made it real fun. So it was dope.
Yeah, I did too.
So now let me get back to Danny Lee. So Danny Lee says Obi Reddish, the 11th pick for Dallas and Dallas 2023 pick for Ivey. Obi Reddish, 11 and 2023 pick. It's a fair trade. It's a fair. I mean, honestly, it's a fair. I don't know. It's tough because in order to get that pick, guys, Knicks gonna have to give up something we don't want to give up. It's either gonna be Obi or it's gonna be IQ. It's one of them most likely is going if they're able to do it because they don't really. Randall don't fit. So what are we gonna do? I don't know. And guys like you could say, oh, well, I'd be more willing to give up Deuce than nobody's really gonna be checking for Deuce right now. Deuce don't make the difference. They got Deuce already in Sacramento. His name is Davion Mitchell. And actually, technically, he's supposed to be a better Deuce because he plays better defense than Deuce. He's supposed to be even more of a lockdown defender. So I don't know, guys. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I don't know either way. I don't want Obi to go. I don't know how they could do this without getting rid of one of those guys. And I think this is a fair trade. Now, some people, honestly, the way Sacramento is looking like they're moving right now, this might not even be enough. Sacramento is they dangling that 4th pick over everybody's head right now because they're getting a lot of interest. They're a bad team. They've been a dysfunctional franchise. They haven't always made the best moves. So, you could see them like, oh, well, we're going to hold out. Plus, they got a good coach now in Mike Brown. Mike Brown probably like, I don't know, man. Don't just be giving away a guy like Ivey when we can get him or somebody else I could get at 4. You better make it worth my while. So what y'all think about that, what Danny Lee said?
I mean, that's not a bad trade, though. But like you said, though, there's other teams that want him as well. So I feel like other teams would get a better deal. I mean, I would do that deal if that was it. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But I feel like it's going to be more, I'd be asking for an RJ, if anything, start from there. Let's start with the most, and then that's how you make deals. That's how you bargain. You ask for the most and then see what you get, the least out of. But like I mentioned, other teams are doing that. And who's to say that they don't do the same thing they did last year and they draft Ivey, then trade him like they did with Hallie later on, and then bring in another vet who's a borderline all-star at the end of the trade deadline and do the same thing. Because to me, I felt like that was a good trade. It's what they needed. I mean, we're talking about a borderline Sabonis all-star, a young talent as well, So, or I mean, everybody's saying about. Oh man, go ahead.
I just, if I could jump in real quick, I just don't see Ivey going at 4. I think the best fitted team for Ivey, I believe, is Detroit. And I think Keegan Murray is going to be, if Sacramento keeps that pick, I think Keegan Murray will be that pick that they pick. I believe. That's what I think. I think Keegan Murray fits the Sacramento team a little bit better than Ivey. And I think Ivey will drop down to the 5th to Detroit. I think Detroit fits better with Ivey, myself.
Honestly, you know what? I mean, I agree with you, but then I don't agree with you, Sha. Because I think you're right that I don't know if Ivey's going to go at 4, but I don't even think he's going to go. I don't think he might make it to 5. I honestly think 2 or 3 is funky right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move for Ivey, man. Ivey might go higher than people think.
You think he's going to go to Houston before Pantero?
I think he could go to Houston because you know what?
Yeah,
the difference is having, well, here's the thing. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Because Houston did just get rid of Christian Wood, right? So you would think that it looks like they would want to get a big to replace Christian Wood, right? But the thing is, Houston has cap. They got money. They can go get a free agent big, right? So it's all about, do they feel will be better served getting that big from the draft? One of these guys, are they going to be the next transitional star? Or do I go get Ivey, pair him with Jalen Green? I know I got Kevin Porter Jr., right? but I could flip him. I could trade him to somebody else. And plus, he's say what it is. He's a little bit of a headache anyway. You know what I mean? So they might say, let's go get that talent, and then our backcourt is done. Like their backcourt is done. Then you flip Kevin Porter. You might decide to go bring in a free agent big because you can afford it, and they'll be okay either way. So I'm just like, Houston is a wild card, and then even after Houston with the third pick, Ivey could go there too. I don't know, man. It's tough.
You're right on that point there, Ron, because in the beginning I did think that Ivey would go to Houston. I thought that he would move up into that third pick. But now seeing Houston move in this guy, this guy that they just moved, I think the plans are to get Paolo. I think they're going to go get that big guy, a young guy to run with their young crew that they got over there. I think.
Yeah, and I apologize. I keep saying it in reverse, but I do mean Houston could take him, but I also mean OKC could take him as well. That's what I meant to say. Like OKC, you don't listen. Sam Presti is a wild dude. And I can't question him because he's been making all the right moves, even when I think his team is trash. Like he's giving away all these and getting all these, acquiring all these picks. They're still a competitive team when everybody's healthy. Like Lou Dort, Giddey, Shea, all these guys, they ball, they play when they're out there. So you don't know what Sam Presti's going to do. Sam Presti might go for him too. I just don't know.
And I'm glad he brought that up, though, because my mic got cut off as I was going to say that. I'm like, so I'm glad you brought it up. But that's like really good points that nobody's talking about, is that these guys could go earlier than 4. Now what? Now the price is even higher if you want to move up to that spot. So that's why I'm not really looking at it realistically as moving up that far up the board. And when has that happened that someone moved up from 11 to 2 or 11 to 3? Like, I can't remember that far of a jump.
Well, guys, is it a realistic thought to think that the Knicks will play a young point guard with Tibbs as coach? That's a serious question.
That's one of the things I say too. I don't know if Tibbs, if we get Ivey, you think Ivey's going to start? Do we all think that Ivey's going to start as a New York Knick if we trade up for him?
Now I believe if we got Ivey, I think he would play him. But the other guards that are lower in the positioning, far as 10, 11 on up, I don't think he would play them that often. Now I've read in the chat here recently that a lot of people saying no more veterans. Well, you got Tibbs at coach. When you have Tibbs at coach, you really have to see. A lot of things were said about Tibbs being the coach that we need, but he didn't have the pieces that he wants. And his philosophy, I mean, as sad as it might sound to so many people, is veterans. Now, I'm not saying that that's a winning philosophy, but if you're going to use this pick and you're going to think for the future, you would have to think to draft the player, put him in a package to get a veteran that Tibbs is going to use, somebody that's going to make immediate impact. I'm not saying Jaden Ivey won't fit, but who's to say he's going to be all of that? One thing about college players, they can look great in college and then they come in the NBA and they disappear. I'm not saying Jaden Ivey's going to do that, but Jaden Ivey, that would be seriously and the only reason I'm saying this is because we have a coach in Tibbs. I believe he would play Jaden Ivey's, but how quick would that hook be? Would we be right back, going with the point guards that we actually had already? Would it be a spinning our wheels kind of thing? I mean, I've always been in the sentiment of getting a veteran point guard. And I read in the chat as one of the guys, I think it was JJ, said no more veterans when I mentioned Jackson. Well, Jackson to me fits the Knicks very well. I really think that. I mean, I think he has the know-it-all. I think he has the I think he won't be rattled. I think you need somebody to settle the team down. I think he hits big buckets at times. And I'm not saying he's the exact fit because just like a lot of guys are saying, the Knicks have a lot of holes to fill. So I just, looking at the draft, I think it's something that we really need to brighten our eyes to the fact of who our coach is. I think that really makes a difference on what you do in the draft here.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, the only thing that I'm going to say about Ivey, and I can't say for sure what Ivey's going to be. I know a lot of people, for the majority of people believe that Ivey is going to be something special. There's obviously, a number of people that are concerned because he can't really shoot. He can shoot a little bit, but he's not consistent yet. So you can't rely on that. In the NBA, that matters because it's going to affect how defenses play you, right? They're going to try to keep you away from the basket and leave you on the perimeter. So you're going to have to knock some stuff down to make them honest. But my whole thing is I look at players like Ivey, guys that I saw coming out of college or what have you, that I looked at how they played, and then you look at how it's translated into the NBA. I'm throwing one name out there, but he's not really on my list. Like, attack the basket, ferocious jumper and leaper, all that stuff. John Wall. But John Wall could shoot a little bit, so he's different, right? But he's in the same realm of guys that I'm thinking about. Derrick Rose, attacking the basket. We saw it. Derrick Rose was never the greatest shooter. He would light it up. He'd get hot, like everybody gets hot in moments, but he wasn't the greatest shooter. And we saw what he did when he came into the league. Of course, he got hurt, but even hurt, you see his output, what he can do. But prior to getting hurt, I mean, forget it. Donovan Mitchell, attack the basket, attack the rim, ferocious. Came into the league. What does he do? Attack the basket, attack the rim. A little bit better of a shooter, obviously, but I'm just saying that style of basketball. Dwayne Wade, same thing. Marquette. I mean, they didn't really know exactly what he was going to be. His shot improved tremendously once he got into the NBA. That 2-point shot that he had, the mid-range jumpers, was not automatic, but he got it to be automatic. And then obviously Westbrook. Westbrook is another player that you could say, look, attack the rim, just attack the rim. He came into the league, he was like a man on fire. And now we see it with Ja. Ja is the newest case. And I think that is the biggest hope for Ivey, the fact that him and Ja's game is very similar. And he patterns his game after Ja. And we've seen Ja do a lot of explosive things in his league. And he also has moments where he can shoot. And Ja's not a good shooter. Let's just be honest. The one thing I say that Ja has over Ivey is his court vision.
Mm.
His court vision is really good. If he wants to, he can average 10 assists a game. He's got that type of vision.
And see, that's why I have problems with Ivey. Us talking about basically giving up all our young pieces for him. Yeah, he's athletic, he can penetrate, but does he have that court vision? Like all of us is talking about plugging him in at the point guard position. Does he have that court vision? What separates him from John Morant is Ja does have that court vision. What separates him from John Wall is John Wall does have that court vision, plus the athleticism, plus everything else. All of those guys that you mentioned are not really good shooters. They're not that much better than Ivey as far as shooting goes. But as far as playmaking goes, each and every single one of them, including Derrick Rose, even though he wasn't able to showcase it like that in the Bulls, he's a better playmaker than Ivey is. And I think that when we're talking about plugging people like Ivey into our point guard position, because the way the NBA is being played now, we got to be very careful with that. Because I asked the question on another show, how would you feel about plugging in a healthy Victor Oladipo into your point guard position? 6'4", athletic, can penetrate to the rim at will. How would y'all feel about that?
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't. Victor Oladipo is in my on my injured list. He's in my injured list bag. He's amongst those players. I'm not saying you throw those guys out, but I don't want them.
No, I'm not saying. Of course, not him now. I'm just talking about when he was healthy.
Oh, when Oladipo was healthy, Oladipo was a bucket.
Yeah, in his healthy days, but he's a bucket getter. But would you feel comfortable with him running your point?
No.
Why not?
No, I would,
because I just think he was more of a scorer, and I don't know if that was his game. Like I honestly, I would be doing him a disservice by saying this without looking, because I haven't seen Victor Oladipo healthy on the court in a long time, so I don't remember exactly how he used to facilitate. I know he would pass a little bit, but I don't remember if he was really good at facilitating. So I'd be lying if I said I did. And also, I just wanted to mention shout out to Knicks Worldwide, and shout out to my man Jay Boogie. For whatever reason, I thought I mentioned you, but I'm seeing your name. I'm like, I didn't say that. So shout out to my man Jay Boogie. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the thing with Oladipo. I just don't remember when he was healthy how he would be out there on the court. I mean, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna pull up Oladipo's numbers, see what he was doing.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Marvin. My bad. Go ahead, man.
No, I just wanted to say, you know, I'm down here in Dallas, guys, and I really wanted to point this out with the Christian Wood thing with Dallas that they just picked up. I think that Brunson's going to stay, guys. So I think Brunson is out of the equation for the Knicks. I really believe they're going to try to build because they picked up Woods, and I don't see them getting rid of Brunson after picking up a power man like they did. So I think Brunson is out of the equation. Now, I want to go back to the point of young point guards coming out of the draft. I mean, listen, guys, we just went through a grueling year of fighting with Tibbs on playing young guys. The only young point guard that I see Tibbs would play would be Jaden Ivey. And I'm being serious with that. I think Ty Washington wouldn't play. I don't think any of the other guards wouldn't play very much. That's why my sentiment is very much in the fact of using something for a package to get a veteran point guard. Now, I know people could be upset about more veterans on the Knicks, but a veteran point guard is basically what the Knicks, they need that direction. They need that general. And is Jaden Ivey ready to do that? I hear all of the questions. I can understand them. And then are we ready to suffer through another up and down year? I mean, realistically, and this is to the whole panel, how far off were the Knicks? I mean, we can all say they were very far off, but in my eyes, I didn't think they were. We lost at least 7 to 8 games that were winnable games. If you win those games, the Knicks are in the playoff play-in at least. I mean, think of the 20-point leads that we blew. Think of the games that the Knicks had in hand. You know, so are the Knicks that far off? I mean, and then another year under the tutelage of Tom Thibodeau, the defense can come back around. So I really believe that us thinking about a young point guard is, I don't know if it's too far-fetched, but I just don't see it working. Not unless we're just going to do this thing and build for the future. And if we're going to build for the future, then yeah, you go get you a young point guard. And you just basically just say, okay, we're just going to play this year out and see how it goes. So I just say, just focusing I would say focusing on a veteran point guard that's going to be, you know, a general out there that can control the team, keep the tempo going, play good defense. And I think that fits the Knicks bill better.
Yeah, but I want a young veteran point guard. I don't want an old veteran point guard. And why are we settling for the high ceiling being a play-in? Like, nah, don't bring in a veteran to, you know, slow the progress of these young guys developing just to get a playing spot. Like, I'm not down with that. You know, just let's take our lumps, let's get hit in the chin. You know what I'm saying? Let's learn from you know, those losses and keep it pushing, because yeah, we were close last year, and we could say if Derrick Rose was healthy that we could have made that playing spot like easily. But that was it. Like, he's not going to get us past the first round. So that's kind of the similar line. It would be bringing in a veteran. We get the play-in, maybe get to the first round and get our butts kicked again, and then we're back to square one all over again. So yeah, if Brunson's out the, you know, not trying to come over here because it's his choice. Like, he's an unrestricted free agent. So if he wants to go make a name for himself and get out of Luka's shadow, he could do that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of the similar thing what we're dealing with Mitchell Robinson. He could go wherever he wants, you know, unless it's a sign and trade that he agrees to go, you know, play for this team for this, you know, this amount of money for these amount of years. But yeah, I just don't see. I just don't want us getting any kind of old vet. And as far as a draft and like you're saying, getting a young point guard, yeah, those guys aren't going to get the keys. And I don't see us really moving up for Ivey. When has the front office showed you that they're willing to move up? They're willing to move back, you know. And if you look at these workouts that they had, a lot of these guys are in the middle of the round towards the end. You know, they worked out Sohan, he's ranked 15. They worked out Eason, he's ranked 17. You know, Malachi Branham, he's around our range, 13. Ochaya, Ochai Abaji, he's ranked 16. You know, so I can see those guys moving back. Ty Washington, like you guys mentioned, he's ranked 18th. You know, then the guy they just brought in, I think a couple of days ago, Marjan Beauchamp, however you pronounce his name, he's ranked 23rd. So I can see these guys moving back and collecting one or two of those guys, or grabbing one of those guys at the end of the first round and then picking up another first round, you know, a couple years later on down the line. I just by what they're showing us in history, what they're willing to do, you know. So
yeah. It's tough, man. It is really tough. And I think that I'm with everybody with the whole thing that we need a solid point guard. But the more and more I keep watching the NBA now, obviously it's over now. We saw the Golden State won the championship. Salute to them. Like, who was the point guard for Golden State? Like, it's supposed to be Steph Curry, but a lot of that facilitation goes through Draymond Green. All right. So, and even with Boston, like Marcus Smart, I mean, he plays the point guard role, but he's not, you know, your facilitating point guard really when you think about it. They just move the ball as a team, and their offensive system is set up so that way the ball flows and it gets to the right guy. And of course, they've got two great players over there. But I just look at these systems and how these guys are playing nowadays. You know, there's a lot of, the positionless basketball stuff. And there's a lot of, guys that the traditional point guard, we talked about it before, like Chris Paul is like the last of the Mohicans, like the real traditional. Maybe Brogdon's in there too. Like, but Chris Paul at a high level. So all this stuff is changing. So that's why, like, getting a guy at like Ivey, you don't expect him to come in and be that guy for you. What you expect him to do is to come in and be a transitional type star who's going to get you buckets and continue to put enormous amounts of pressure on the defensive end for the other team. Like, it doesn't matter if you know what he can do and what he can't do. It's like Ja Morant. You know what Ja can do. You know what he can't do. He's not a great shooter. But does that mean you can stop Ja from getting to the basket? Many have tried. Many have failed. Like, you know what I mean? So if Ivey can come in and give you that same type of energy that Ja can give you, to me, that's a win-win. Like, you putting so much pressure, the defense has to figure out ways to cut you off from getting into the paint, to double team. Even if he doesn't have the greatest court vision, you know how many opportunities he's going to open up to dribble into the lane and kick it back out for an open shot? That just means the Knicks have to put good shooters around him. If we were able to get Ivey, we need good shooters on this team. So if you decide to make moves and you want to trade Fournier, you want to get rid of Burks, you better get some guys who can shoot in here that shoot as good as Fournier or better, and better than Burks, and because we need better shooters on this team. We too much inconsistency.
Yeah.
You get that? I think you good. I think it doesn't matter if he's not the traditional point guard. He's going to set guys up. Donovan Mitchell, to me, I had to look at his game and I had to be honest. He's not a traditional point guard. And I was like, is he even a good facilitator? On paper, you might say no. But if you look, I mean, on paper, you might, not on paper, when you watch him, you might say no. But on paper, he actually is. He averages around 5 or 6 assists a game, here, give or take. But he puts so much pressure on the opposing team. They got to double team him. So he's getting wide open shots for someone else. Even if he's not one of those with great court vision, he knows to pass the ball when he gets double teamed. So a guy like that's all you need. You just need somebody who can really put pressure on the defense so that they do something that benefits your offense. And I think Ivey does that.
Yeah, and Ron, I also want to chime in on that also. I think a traditional point guard is based on the offensive philosophy of the coach. And
right.
I think
Tibbs'
Tibbs' offense is based on having a real solid point guard. As you can see in the year past, when Rose was healthy, the Knicks won because of the role that he plays in Tibbs' offense. And you mentioned Boston and you mentioned Golden State. See, Golden State doesn't necessarily have to have a true point guard because of the way their offense is set. In Boston's case, I think that's just the opposite. They suffered with Marcus Smart at point because he's not a true point, and they really needed that true point. And I think in the Knicks system, that's why I say veteran over young guy. But we all need to be realistic. Are we looking for the Knicks to go far in the run of playoff next year? That's the question that really should be addressed. And if you're not, then you do go for that young point guard. If you're looking and feeling like the Knicks are close to doing something, then you go for that vet. And I wouldn't say I agree with Subliminal on a younger veteran point guard. I'm not saying an older point guard. I don't think Jackson is out of his prime at all. I think he has at least 3-4 more good years. But when you look for a young good point guard, veteran in the NBA, can we realistically get him? That's what I'm saying. The reason I bring up Jackson a lot is because that is a realistic thought to be able to put him in. Now, I don't believe in Malcolm Brogdon because of his injury history. And, like I just mentioned, I made sure I mentioned Brunson because I don't think Brunson's going to leave. So I think everything is predicated on what you're going to do because of Tibbs being the coach. And that makes a big difference. If Tibbs is the coach, you need to, at least this year, to make sure that he fires all his bullets out of his gun, give him the pieces that he needs. Don't have an excuse for him to say, well, I didn't have the pieces. You give him the pieces that he needs and it doesn't work, then we know where the problem is.
I hear that too, Marvin. I feel where you're coming from with that one. And me personally, like me and some of the people in the chat, I think that the Knicks best trade up option would trying to be move up to the 7th position. I'm big on this guy, Ben Mathurin, man. I like Big Ben. I think we can snatch him at 7. I think that's around the time, and we still retain our 11th pick. And we could either go Sohan or Easton for that 11th pick. I think those two guys together can really upheave this New York Knicks team right now. But right now we don't know what the Knicks are going to do. We have the slightest idea of which direction the Knicks are going. They're so close-lipped right now. We don't know if they're going to make this move. We don't know if we're going to move up. We don't know if we're going to move down. And other teams, you can see kind of where they're sort of leaning to go. But this New York Knicks team these last couple of years has been so tight-lipped. That's why we have so many objective things to talk about the Abadjis, about the Eastons, about the Jay Williams. We don't know the young backcourt. Are we going to go young? Are we going to go get a veteran player? This New York Knicks team these last couple of years has been so tight-lipped. But if it was my opinion, I think the best bet, I don't think we need to go to get Easton. I believe the players from 5 down to 15 are all kind of similar. All the guys are kind of similar. The Ivies, the Sharps, the Griffins, Dyson, Davises. I think all these guys are kind of in that same realm for 6'6", 6'5", kind of shooting, can play the wing, can play 1 to 3. I believe that a big thing for me for Ben, I think he's one of those players that's going to be one of those dogs that we really need on this team. And we can go 11 and get Easton and get someone that's going Easton or Sohan to be somewhat of a defensive presence. Now, if we move to 7, that means that Randall was gone, but who knows if Randall is going to go. So that makes a big difference on who we're going to pick at 11. We're not going to see a Easton. We're not going to see a Sohan if Randall was still here. So this New York Knicks team this year is, I say this, and I say it again. This is like the best soap opera that I've been seeing in the last couple of years. This New York Knicks team brings you back to all these chats, to all these great podcasters that's out here to see and grab information from us guys that really do these podcasts, because right now we don't know what we're going to do. We're all sitting here assuming, but man, this is great. I just can't wait till next week to see what happens, man. I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Right. It's fun, exciting, nervous, all at the same time.
All at the same time, man. Word up.
But I just want to chime in real quick on that 7th pick, because I'm out here in Portland. You know what I'm saying? They just picked up Mike Schmitz, the head scout of ESPN. So to me, I don't think that they're going to trade that 7th pick. They're going to get the best player available, and I think that's going to be either Benedict Mathurin or Keegan Murray if he's still there, depending on who's there at that spot. But what's up, Sophie? What it do?
What's going on, everybody?
What's happening, brother?
Oh man, another day, another day. You know, just sitting there, just listen to everybody. You got a little work in for the day. You know, regarding with the trade, with the draft, you know, you can kind of see which way we're going to go by who the Knicks have brought in already. If I'm not mistaken, Ben Mathurin hadn't worked out for us at all. So that'll let you know. I'm a Ben Mathurin fan. I would like for him to go there. There's reports that the front office is in love with Jaden Ivey, but let's keep it a buck. He may be out of reach. Salute to the only never duplicated, the one original J Boogie.
Shout out, man. Good. Keep rocking though. I want to interrupt.
Yeah, so that'll let you know where we're going. Look at the players we brought in because we're looking at players on the other end from in our range. Just like my man Shaw was saying, you got to look at the players. You know, the players that we already looked at. So, but myself, I would like for us to do something out of the ordinary. You know, I can't. Like I said, Freezy brought this one up. When we had 3 first-round draft picks, our organization and other people, oh, you're going back in the past, this, but just hear me out. The front office said those 3 draft picks were too much to give up, to move up. Boogie, you were there when Freeze said that. Mm-hmm. And then you think about it, the one pick that we could have jumped on. I think, Ron, you were in there that day. He brought it up. That you know, if you were giving up the 3 picks, could have been Kobe Bryant. You know, that's something to think about that when somebody brings that up when you look back. Yeah, hindsight's 20/20. I get that. But what I'm saying is, how about you do something that you're not known for doing? Because it's just like in a football game. You already know I already know what you're gonna do by the same formation you always run. So, for instance, I'll let it be known. I'm a who that. When Drew Brees was playing and they brought in Taysom Hill, you knew Taysom was about to run the ball. If it was a deep pass, they bring in Taysom because you knew Drew Brees couldn't get that joker past 5, maybe 8 yards. You knew by the formation. You're being predictable. We know for a fact that our organization is just different regimes. We haven't done anything. We kind of sit back in the comfort level, and you stay shielded in your little hole, and you safe, but you don't venture out to take that you gotta put it out there and be aggressive. Now, it may not be this draft, because I would like to see us try to go up and get one of these guys, but next year's draft, man, is chock full, man. So next year is going to be the draft. That 2023 is going to be something special. So you can either move or sit where you are, and you still got the Dallas pick. And the other thing is Dallas made their move. We can make moves with the free agents with the veterans we have because of those contracts. So they are movable because Dallas moved pieces. And I know you're saying that our pieces aren't this and that. Look, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I just put it to you like that. So we got pieces that somebody would want to use. There's been reports that Philly would love to get Alex Burks back. But you know what? If I got a chance to get Alex Burks up out of here and get something in return, I'll take a second-round pick for Alex Burks because I'm looking forward to the 2023 draft when you get the young high school kids. You can spend you one of those second-round draft picks, bring in a high school kid, stash them away and develop them, or you can use the second rounds and put it in a package to try to move up with something else. So that's all I'm saying. We just at a point right now, just like Marvin was saying, and Sha, it's so tight-lipped, man. The Knicks the front office got their lips so tight, they tighter than the government with top secret information, bro.
Word
that's
up.
all I got.
What's good, J-Bug?
What's going on, Jay?
Hey, Boogie.
What's good, people, man? Blessings to y'all, man. This great Saturday, you know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to y'all today. You don't have to
Father's Day to all you fathers.
Every day, unless you're one of them fathers that ain't doing nothing. Then you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be appreciated. You know, shout out to everybody in the chat. Real quick before I forget, Ham, right? You from Dallas, you said, right?
You mean Marvin?
Yeah, you from Dallas?
No, I'm from Chicago. I'm just down here in Dallas.
Okay, you down there in Dallas. Okay, I knew. I thought I heard it. I just want to send a condolence and a blessing to the family. Everything is okay, but I was going across the situation down there in Dallas. The Morris family, one day they was at a basketball game back in April, and they was watching the game, and their little baby wanted to go use the bathroom. She was 15 years old. She was snatched up or something like that. And they putting out the stories, letting everybody know, be careful with your kids. You got people that still are snatching kids up and try to use them for trafficking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
man.
when you go into them big major events, you know what I'm saying? You got a little minor, 15, 16, anything that's under 18 years old is really considered a minor. So make sure you protect and watch them at all times. So I just wanted to send that out to the Morris family. That story probably be going around ESPN. I was reading about it, early this morning. So just wanted to share that with y'all. But the draft is coming next week, and there's a lot of panic modes are starting to, people starting to get up under a lot of pressure. I hear the podcasters, I hear the chats. I know the officers is up under pressure. What are we going to do? Who are we going to get? You know what I'm saying? I think we need this is time for you to be developing your gut inside the office. We don't have people with guts inside their office, you know what I'm saying? So right now, they don't know what they do. They scared. They listen to everything that's going on. So right now, any move they think they hearing people talking about this person can't do that, this person can't do this, you know what I'm saying? Against all the good things they can do. So they don't know what they want to do right now. They're in panic mode, you know what I'm saying? I hope we make the right decision. Whatever decision they make, I'm gonna be good with it because I'm a Knick lover and he's getting ready to put on that jersey, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be happy with it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm quite sure whatever they do is gonna be some reason why we gonna say, oh, we should he does this, he does that, you know what I'm saying? I just want to get a little bit away from some of the negativity and thinking of positive things sometimes, you know what I'm saying, about some of these players. No A's when I say positive, but thinking of positive role of some of these guys, some of the things they can do. I hear people talk pounding the boy on Mackay in the head. Somebody can't play defense. When you coming up in this day and time, you don't look to play no defense as these little kids. You know what I'm saying? You learn what you see on the TV. This kid is 18 years old, but he can do everything else on the court. But we worried about if he can get a stop right now. He can learn that. Obi couldn't play no defense, but he had to learn that and understand that to be in Tom's rotation. So I'm just saying some of the things that we say these kids cannot do, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to, you know what I'm saying, look at the greater things that they can do and just let them develop that. That's what development is in basketball. You develop the things that you cannot do. And you know what I'm saying? You continue on sharpening the things that you can do. You know what I'm saying? So I just want, to share that a little bit, man. The draft is coming, you know what I'm saying? Some of these guys, they're not good in some situations, but a lot of things they can do that a lot of players cannot do. That's in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why some of these guys' stocks is moving up, some of the stocks is moving back, you know what I'm saying? But let's just pray that we get the right situation. And if we don't get the right situation, let's pray for it to turn into the right situation, man.
Facts.
Right. I agree with you, Jay. And I just wanted to chime in for a second here. I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys think that everything that's going to happen is predicated on what happened with Mitch and with Randall? I think that's key in the Knicks organization. If you're going to make moves, first of all, if these two players are not on the roster, you got to replace them. So I think the draft depends on that, and I think what happens with Mitch and with Randall is predicated on what direction the Knicks goes in.
Well, I think Mitch is already gone, though. You know what I'm saying? And fortunately, we could get a center in the draft. You go get you a Kolokolo. You go get you there's just different types of guys out there, and that's kind of the route I would go. I would kind of fall back and pick up another couple guys. The Khalifa Diop is another one. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Kamagate is another one you could pick up, and he's more similar to a Nerlens Noel frame. Protects the rim, could guard 3 through 5 on the perimeter, that type of things. And that's why I feel like they're going to go. They're going to move back, and I kind of would do the same thing if my guy's not there at 11. Go back and collect more assets. Then next year, because we're kind of like all the guys at the club right now on the panel. We're just all the guys at the club right now, staring at the one girl, the one fine girl that's in the club, and we're all trying to get at her. You know what I'm saying? That's Ivey. We're all trying to get at Ivey right now. At Ivey right now. And one of us might be more fly, the other one might have more money, might spit better game. So let's not do that. Let's go ahead and just sit back. And next year we have 2 first-round picks. It's a 2023 draft. There's going to be better players out there, and let's develop our young guys. Let's groom them. Let's see what IQ is. RJ. Then we're not going to be we're not going to be a playoff team anyways. We may end up around the 8th or the 5 spot, and we can move up then with having all those assets and then go get our guy, whether it's a scoop or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Instead of
So in your eyes, Bill, you believe that they should target a big man instead of a point guard and then go with IQ. Is that what you're saying?
in the draft.
No, you would keep IQ as your
Mhm.
point, and you would target a big man in the draft. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it just depends where we fall in the draft towards the end of the round. So if you're looking at a Kamagate or let's say an Andrew Nembhard, I would go with Andrew Nembhard because he has that facilitating ability. He had 11 assists in the combine, something that the Knicks don't have. Are guys that can facilitate. Our Julius Randle was our biggest facilitator at 5.5 assists a game. This kid kind of emulates his game from Tyus Jones. You know what I'm saying? He has the vision. He get guys in their spots. You know, I'm not saying this guy's going to be our starting point guard, but we still need a backup point guard. We still need guys who could find, you know, like other guys cutting, find them on oops, you know, just kind of facilitate the offense. You know, those that look at right now, we're thinking about getting a Brunson, someone who is in the second round, you know, backup point guard. You're always looking for that second round, you know, that second unit point guard as well. You know, we don't know if Deuce is that guy yet. We don't know if he can facilitate for others. He still can't create his own shot. He still can't get all the way to the cup. So right now, you got to weigh out your options. Then you could get a center at the end of the draft, or buy a pick, because the Pacers have the 31st pick and the 60th pick. Orlando has the 32nd pick and the 35th pick. The Wolves have 40, 48, and 50, and the Warriors have 51 and 57. So go up back in the draft, go buy a second round for like $2 million, $3 million, whatever it is, and then you get your big man around there, or vice versa. You get Kamagate, you get Diop, you get Koloku, somewhere around that, and then you go get the point guard with one of those other picks.
Yeah.
And or not just that though. You get a point guard undrafted. You pick up the phone. You call Scottie Pippen Jr. You call. There's just so many Sebron, Sebron, or Darren Sebron. You just, certain guys are gonna fall out of the draft. You got to pick up the phone and call and pick up on a two-way contract. None of these guys are going to be your starter, but we still need guys to run the second unit, whether they're going to be a center or a point guard. So that's kind of the route I would go.
You guys, listen to Subliminal, man. He's throwing some names out there.
Yeah,
He's speaking some facts, and
Yeah.
you know that he said a couple names, and this is what I'm talking about in regards to even looking at point guards. You don't gotta go crazy if the guy's not there where you want him to be. There's some second round talent. There's some guys that can fill in and give you exactly what you need. They may not be everything all world, but as far as if you're looking for somebody who can do the point guard duties, there's guys, and who knows, they could grow into something special. But he's already named one. I named one. There's a couple guys out there like that. And as far as the other thing I was going to tell you is with regards to the 4th pick, like, do I think the Knicks should go crazy and do everything they can to get that 4th pick? No. If the trade is nuts, don't do it. But definitely take a look at it. And if it's something reasonable you may not be happy with, but it makes sense, you do it. If something happens and they go for that 4th pick and Jaden Ivey's out of there before 4, I'm still okay with that, guys. Those top 4 guys are all good basketball players. I like Keegan Murray. To me, he's one of my favorite players in the draft. I just never mentioned him because the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks are going to have a chance to get that guy. So I don't even bring him up. But if Jaden Ivey goes before 4 and the Knicks moved up to 4, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this scenario because it's not really realistic. But if this was to happen, right, you've got, Jabari Smith, you've got Paolo Banchero, you got Keegan Murray, and then you also have Chet. Do I think Chet would fall to 4? Is a possibility. Don't get me wrong, I like Chet, but out of all the guys I just named, Chet is probably the one I don't want, because even though he's a very skilled player, that body type, that's hard to really work and change that body type. And for the position he plays, with the height he has, he's going to get, banged around all the time. It's going to be a tough haul. He might be able to grow from it. Like when Nowitzki was taller, but when Nowitzki came into the league, he was a skinny dude too.
KP.
He grew into his body. You know what I mean? But like, I would say that even if that did happen and the Knicks wound up with someone else, okay, you take that player, and then now maybe you would have to give up that 11th pick to move up to 4th. So you don't have that 11th pick anymore. Buy yourself a pick. Get somewhere into if you can get into the teens or into the 20s. And then maybe you can go get somebody else that can still give you that shooting guard thing that we're talking about. Maybe if you can get somewhere else in the teens, maybe around 16, something like that. Maybe, I'm not saying he'll be there, but maybe you could still wind up with a Malachi Branham. It's a possibility. Like there's a guy like that that's out there that you can still get. And then you might walk out of there with Jabari Smith and a Malachi Branham. Like, to me, I'll be honest with you guys. I know this sounds crazy because I'm a Knicks fan. I don't think the Knicks can lose in this draft.
Facts.
I think that there's so many different ways they can go. I think they're going to be good no matter what. So,
and the one big thing of you saying that, Ron, is I trust in Brock Aller. I think this guy in the last couple of years has showed that even with the move backs that he has made, we have came into we brung in Grimes, we then brung in IQ, and we then brung in Deuce, and we brung Sims in. And I think a move back right now wouldn't be much of a bad move. Me personally, if we're not going for at least 7th, I think 4th place. I think the 4th position is out of our realm. I think we're going to be losing 2 or 3 of our young players, some draft capital as well. I think 7 is a little reasonable, even though I think we still may have to give up a couple of things. But I wouldn't be opposed to moving back to like 13 and 15, because I think and anything under 12, I think we're still going to get a quality guy like a Williams, like a Baji, like the guys of those names and stuff like that, the Tyree Easons of the world and stuff like that. If we move back, I think we can capture 2 better players than to try to move forward to get 1 major player.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I agree with you on that, Sean.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna get right back to you, Soulfinger. Let me just give a shout out to other names that I see. If I missed you, I apologize. Salute Cash Out James. Salute Building Blocks. I might have already shouted you out, but I'm gonna shout you out again. Salute Green Goblin. Salute Kaiser Soze. Ed Bia. Salute and Smoke on the Console. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining up. Building Block said Dellin Terry and Alondis Williams will be great value picks. I agree, man. Let me tell you something. I not too many people were talking about him a little bit more early prior to the draft, like months ago. And
Terry?
No, Alondis Williams.
Oh,
Alondis Williams is a baller, man. Alondis Williams is a little bit of what Jaden Ivey can give you, his explosiveness, but he's not he's not the attack the basket guy like Jaden Ivey is. He's like in between Jaden Ivey and man, I just had the name in my head and I lost it. It doesn't matter. The point is, Alondis Williams is a special type player too. He's got some stuff that he needs to work on, but the guy's got good court vision. He can shoot a little bit. Oh, Shaedon Sharpe is who I was thinking. So he's in between Ivey and Shaedon Sharpe, if you ask me. I think Alondis Williams is in between them because of all the stuff he can do. Shaedon Sharpe eventually might become better in time, but Alondis got bunnies. He can shoot a little bit. He's got great court vision. Defensively, he's just like all these other guys, man. They all need a little work on defense. Do they have the ability to do it? Yes. They need somebody to really work with them to kind of bring that out of them. That's today's NBA. That's today's young guards coming into the league. These guys, the defense focus is not as high as it used to be.
Is he the big point guard from Wake Forest?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that guy is a bull. That guy
this is the thing.
Up. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say this real quick, get it out your way, y'all. So, but when you brought that up, Ron, those comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
How many people we've seen, and this is for the panel and for the chat, how many people you seen? How many times you seen Shaedon Sharpe's name come up? We need to get Shaedon Sharpe, or we've seen Jaden Ivey. So if you have a player that's a combination of both, it seems like you would want to have that because that's what you want. He's got both abilities, attributes of both of those players that everybody likes. The only problem is, and I can't take this because I just was scanning through the chat, and shout out to my man, the coolest.
Oh, Soulfinger, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, you got real low. I didn't know we were losing you.
No, I had to put my earpiece back in better. But shout out to my man DeCoulis. He said something. I was just kind of scanning through the chat, right? And DeCoulis said something. I'm just gonna read it out. No matter who the Knicks draft, fans won't be happy. And I got to give him his props on that because we've seen a lot of that. Shout out to him for that. That is profound. You should frame that joker. You know what I'm saying? But you're talking about these young players. Those two names those you got those two players that this one cat reminds you of. I couldn't see how you wouldn't want to be happy if we got somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? He's giving you both of what those two guys are. It's just you got it packaged in one, and then you can develop that one. And like you were saying, we all know defense. You don't see a lot of that these days in young players because it's taught about it's the offense. You know, my daughter plays ball, and I see a lot of kids want to shoot the three. Either, the girls want to shoot the three, the boys want to shoot the three. Nobody thinks about the mid-range, low post, none of that. That mid-range is like undiscovered country. But if I got a kid that can and then the defense, you don't see many that can play defense. So you have to go out of your way to really teach defense unless you have a kid that just comes out and say, I love playing defense. How often you see that? So it's going to come with time, and what Boogie also said, I'm not going to talk about what they can't do. Let's talk about what they can do, and then we'll develop what they're lacking on to help the team get to the next level.
Right. Man, I mean, everything you said, I agree with, and definitely what D. Cooler said. Yes, no matter who we pick, Knick fans are not going to be happy because we have that defeatist mentality. We always feel like someone else is better than us because we've seen that this Knick team has struggled, and we don't trust the organization and their picks. But I'm just saying, this is why it's weird to say, but it's good when you're bad sometimes because there's so many different players that give you value, that have talent that can be put on this team that can help. So, that's why I'm saying, I don't think the Knicks can lose because there's so many different guys. Jovic, I like all the guys, subliminal name. I'm naming a couple guys. The chat is naming. These are all guys that could be had throughout the whole entire draft at different positions. So how can you really, if you have an idea of what your basketball team is, you know what you're missing. You know you lack athleticism. You know you lack. You want positionless basketball. You want guys who can do all time. There's a bunch of guys who could do different things. So I don't think we are going to be better after this draft. That's all I'm saying. We're going to be better because I don't think the Knicks are going to mess this up. I think they're smart enough to get it right.
It's not a bad draft, truth be told. It's not really as bad as it's been made out to seem. Is that because you don't have it's not point guard heavy.
Facts.
With big name point guards. Let's call it like it is. You have wings, you have some bigs. It's heavier on that. But being that the NBA is point guard driven, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's not the NBA is point guard driven, and it's not as many name point guards coming out. This draft is weak. But you got some nice pieces in there. And Tyree Eason wouldn't be a bad fit because he fits a need with this team, what we need.
I like Tyree.
Can I hop in real quick though? It's a weak draft. It's because there's no complete players out there. It's kind of like pick your poison. So right now there's a lot of 3-and-D, a lot of 6'5" ham sandwiches, that are out there.
From 5 to 15.
Yeah. But the thing is though, okay, let's talk about Tyree Eason right now. Yes, I wouldn't be okay with Tyree Eason because the simple fact that his jump shot is broken. We have a defensive-minded coach in Tibbs that he'll get on the floor for that reason. He can guard 3 through 5. He could go out there guard a little bit of small ball. He guard a little bit of the wing. But that's it. Don't expect any more from him. He can he can slash and create his own basket as far as getting to the cup because of his strength though. But if that's the route you're willing to go, then I guess I'll be okay with that. I prefer Jeremy Sohan ahead of him just because he could guard 1 through 5, like bigger point guards, kind of like a Dinwiddie. If Dinwiddie's running the point, not those small, shifty, elite, fast point guards, but he could guard, 1 through 5. He is real twitchy with his hips. He can open up his hips, has good footwork. work you in the post, if that's the route you want to go too. If you want to go with a guy with a high ceiling as far as a Usman Deng, someone who we need a small forward position of need that has that length, that has that long wingspan, 6'10" wingspan, then that's another route you could go. If we want to go with the 3-level scorer on the offense with the Malachi Branham, who could score on all 3 levels, hit you in the pinch post, low post, kind of Chris Middleton route, then that's another way we could go. But he likes that defensive ability. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's guys out there. It's just, who do you want at that position, or are you willing to move back? Are you willing to get those point guards like Ron mentioned? He mentioned the guy from Wake Forest, just a bull, a guy that can get his own bucket. But
Alanis Williams, yep.
Yeah, Alanis, yeah, but his defense isn't there. Do you want to go with a guy like who did I mention? A Numbard. Yeah, Numbard, a guy that can facilitate. Just like what do you want? What do you look at that guy and then say, okay, he doesn't have this, he has this hole in his game, but I can work with that, type deal. So at the end of the day, it's like all of us right here have our favorite guys who we would pick though. And as Knicks fans, we're never just going to agree to the same person. That's kind of what makes it. But that's what makes it so fun and interesting, though, is you really can't drop the ball. At the end of the day, these guys are all projects. Don't expect them to be plug and play unless you get a Johnny Davis, with 11, a Benedict Mathurin type player. But everybody else is just going to be like spot minutes.
Yeah, shout out to the sub man too, putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all in the chat, y'all getting all this live footage right now. This man right here telling y'all what he be doing with the energy, the effort, the work he be putting in behind closed doors. And now he's live in footage and he's sharing that with you. Hit them like buttons. Show some appreciation. You know what I'm saying? You're rocking, you're rolling, you're tatting, you're texting, you're doing everything. Hit them like buttons, you know what I'm saying? And show some appreciation. So you all still Knicks fans. That's the name of the podcast. So, just show a little appreciation. It's only a thumbs up that we're asking. Just a thumbs up a little bit. We all love and appreciate the Knicks. We all want, this scenario to happen, that scenario to happen. Show some appreciation. You want your scenario to happen by hitting that like button just a little bit more than what we doing, man. Shout out to the chat. Y'all the greatest people it is in the world. Don't nobody else exist better than you guys, man. Shout out to y'all guys.
Facts.
And on that, I just want to say, always. The chat is where it's at, always.
Ron,
I just want to say this here with that thumb, with the likes. Hey, look, if you hadn't got your exercise in, hit that button. You can burn you some calories.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're trying to get back in those jeans or trying to put on that muscle shirt. Hit that like button.
I wanted to ask the panel, just starting with you, Ron. Is it your realistic thought, and seriously, and this is for all of the panel one at a time, how far can the Knicks go next year? And seriously, because I know what where sub mine is, but I wanted to ask each member. What do you guys think we start, and what do you guys think we finish?
All right, I will get. I mean, I think that I still feel the same way. Nothing's changed. Shout out to if I didn't say this already, Pamela Pender. If I did, excuse me. I'm just trying to keep on track and make sure I shout people out when I see them. Jeremy Nussbaum, salute to you, brother. And salute to my man John, my other half. Shout out Knicks Nation, folks on the chat, and this awesome panel for today's discussion. We are all still Knick fans through and through. Facts, brother, facts. I honestly think that the Knicks, to me, will be a better team next year, just because of the fact that they're going to run the team differently. Not too much differently. It's still going to be Tibbs' system, but I think Tibbs is going to change things up a little bit. And most importantly, I think Tibbs' rotation will change a little bit. He's still going to fall back into his ways. He's going to run into patterns. We're going to be questioning him. What is he doing? But I think for the most part, he's going to make changes. And I think he's going to avoid those 20-point collapses that we witnessed this year. Hopefully, we can get to the point where we're up 20 points. But you know what I mean? Like, I think he's going to avoid a little of that next year. I think he learned from it. So I think we'll be better. I think we're going to make some changes in the draft. I think we're going to make some small changes in free agency. I don't know if a big trade is going to happen, but I think we'll be better. And because of that, and because I don't trust and believe in Charlotte, I don't trust and believe in Atlanta. Shout out to Landry Fields. But I think the Knicks could be in the playoffs. I think they'll make the play-in, and I think they can get into the first round. And that's pretty much where I see them going. I don't see them getting out of the first round unless they do something different. Like if the Knicks wind up getting Jaden Ivey, and then the Knicks wind up getting a stretch big who, you know, can help them stretch like a different dynamic on the team that I'm not expecting, then maybe they'll still be able to get to the play-in, get to the first round, and then maybe they can get out of the first round. But that's it. I don't see them going in. It's too hard to build and change your team overnight. You need a lot of stuff to happen. I mean, Julius would have to be great. RJ would have to be better than he was last. You need a whole bunch of stuff to happen for us to see anything past that. That's my opinion. I'll throw it to Sha so he can kick it off and go to the next.
Well, this year, hopefully we can change the culture of our team, man. Last year we ran with no pace, and our shooters wasn't really shooting great. We shot under 40% last year. So I think these guys this year are going to be more seasoned. I hope to see some trades coming through. I hope we can go more of this young path that we're going on, because we're really not really young. RJ's not young. RJ's been in the league a couple of years. If we could keep Mitch, he's been in the league a couple of years. You know what I mean? We may keep Julius Randle. He has been in the league a couple of years. So we got some guys that are gutty guys that can get the job done. Let's see what happens. I do think that we're going to make some a major move. And this is, like I said, a soap opera, man. We may go up and get 4. We may make this thing something spicy, something that we all talk about and be super excited. But we also got to look on the other hand. Brock Aller, he may take some of these picks and move them back and get some real decent guys in this draft. So let's see what happens with this year with the New York Knicks. I'm hopeful. I'm not with the name on the back. I'm with the name on the front.
You know, me personally, first thing first, I want every one of them guys that's on the off season right now, the guys that's already on the team, I need all of them to come inside this, you know what I'm saying, this preseason, summer league, wherever you're going hungry. You should be embarrassed about the performance that we put on as a player. And not only just Julius, everybody underachieved last year, from the players all the way to the coaching staff. First thing first, you need to have a hunger. My first small step I need to make sure Orlando, which beat us 3-1. I need to make sure Orlando was going to get better. They get ready to get the Jason Tatum of this draft, which I think, even though he had all them turnovers, I think they put that boy Paulo over there that gives him a double machine. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure that the Detroit Pistons, which they're going to get better, and they got cap space too. I need to make sure those two teams right now do not pass us in no type of way. That's my first thing. Stay on top of them. My second thing is I need for us to go ahead and get at least 2 of those slots back. I don't care if it's Chicago. I don't care if it's Charlotte. I don't care if it's Atlanta. I don't care who. Them guys, I need 2 of those teams back to put us back in those positions right there. If I can get there and get inside the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, like up somewhere between 6 and 7, I'll be happy with the team, because I know they gave us an all-out effort. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need. I need some hungerness up in this organization. People that want to get back. I need some hard work play. I ain't got to have the sexiest person inside this draft. I need somebody that's gonna come in and work hard. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be dedicated. That's gonna dive on the floor. That's gonna go after the loose ball. Ain't scared to put his body in there and take a charge. You know what I'm saying? Ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? To make sure we get a shot instead of getting a turnover. You know what I'm saying? I need all that to be happening. You know what I'm saying? At one time this year. But I got small baby steps, you know what I'm saying, and for us this year. And that's all I'm looking for. I know we ain't going to get a chip. I know we probably ain't going we ain't going nowhere near the conference finals. None of that. But just give me them small baby steps, and then let's regroup for 23 and just see what we can get out of that 23 free agency and move forward then. But this right here is like starting all over again for me.
Great take. Sub, what do you say?
I kind of mentioned it already, so I'm gonna let someone else, kick it off.
Don P, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. My bad, man. I was pulling the hood up. But Yeah, my whole thing with this squad is this, yo. I think that we're gonna be better next year. I really feel that we do. Like I said in the beginning of the show, we have talent on our team. We do. I don't think we have any real bad players on the team. I just think that they just have to be in the best positions. Uh, they just have to be in better positions to do what they do. That's all. This is a show me now type of league, and with that said, it's on Tom Thibodeau as well as everybody else just to put themselves in better positions to succeed, straight up and down. I don't think our team is no more worse than Charlotte or any other squad. I think it all boils down to coaching, teams, and what fits with the players themselves.
And Soulfinger, to you, do you think the draft will make the difference? What is your true expectations of the Knicks going forward?
All right. Well, like currently constructed, it's kind of hard to say because you don't know who we drafted when it comes to free agency. So if you were saying currently as it was constructed, well, I'm just breaking down a little bit in sections. Currently as it's set up right now, we still have a better chance of running through Hades and gasoline draws. I had to change it up because Boogie got baby girl right there, so I don't want to say that word around baby girl. So, but I do expect us to get a little better. Now, the goal, I don't, you can say, some would say play in shouldn't be a goal. I want playoffs. I want to make the playoffs. Play in would be a consolation, but that is a show of improvement. We just have to you got to do better on free agency. I haven't had a problem with the draft. If you look at so far what this front office has been doing, we've been pretty good on the draft. It's free agency is where I've had the issue with. That's just me. And some others, we got to move people to open up some things and bring in better vets, healthier vets that you could depend on. Because, we got Nerlens Noel, the man, the hands of stone. The cat played 26 minutes this whole season. When you need him, that's somebody you can't depend on. We're dependent on the Derrick Rose. Shout out, I love Derrick Rose. What he brought and everything, but you can't bag up. Hook your card up to Derrick Rose, the man whose knees and ankles are. Come on, man. They like saltine crackers. Let's call it like it is. But he gives you what you got. You brought in Kemba Walker, who got a Rice Krispie knee. So you gotta look at that. And you got Evan Fournier, and I've been hard on Evan Fournier. I have been. I still can't get the picture of him against Indiana sliding around the floor looking like Sammy the Seal. But he does give effort. He's gotten better playing defense. However, I still don't. I think he could be a piece that you can move to bring something in to properly fit this team. I do believe we're going to get better. It's all about the effort. And I got to say the same. And, Boogie put it out there a lot. And Sub already dropped down. He already dropped
down. He got cut off. His mic's off.
So you there?
I had a call come in. So with that being said, I think we're going to be better. I would like to see us hit the playoffs, make playoffs, but I have to see how we're going to do in the draft. But the playoffs would be my baby step goal right now. But we got a lot of teams to try to overcome and get over, man. So
yeah, it's not just the draft though. You mentioned getting to the playoffs though, and not wanting these guys on these vets on the roster, the Noels, the Fourniers, the Roses. But the question is how do we get rid of them and what do we get for them? To make this team better to get to the playoffs. Because with this team, we're not making it to the playoffs the way it's currently constructed. And then with Kemba, like you mentioned, his knees, no one's gonna want to take him. So we're gonna have to get rid of him. We're gonna have to eat that money.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and like I said,
go ahead.
Just saying, just following up with you because we got veterans that for this squad may not work, but you got to see what you're going to get back in return. And like I said earlier, what our trash could be somebody else's treasure, and the treasure on that is those contracts. Nerlens Noel, if I'm not mistaken, he's in 1 year left. Burks, 1 year left. You got Fournier. It's what, two? He has 2 more years left. That third year is optional. So somebody's looking at that and may want to move something. Want to get out there and do something with us. So it's a possibility. It's just what kind of mouthpiece our front office has to try to talk them and make it happen for us, and I benefit. And then what young fella, what young Thundercat we're gonna get back at getting this draft to make things work for us.
Right.
Great
Right.
take, Ron.
Right.
Ron, before you go any further, Ron, I just wanted to ask you this. Do you think it's realistic that the Knicks can put a package together with Randall, the 11th pick, and maybe a couple of draft picks to get a true? Because I heard guys say that we don't think, in my eyes, I really believe it's time for the Knicks to get the super free agent. Can they put that package together to bring a super free agent to New York?
Right now, I don't think so, because I don't think there's a super free agent that's available that they can really target and go get. Donovan Mitchell is most likely. I mean, listen, I don't know what they're doing over there, and Donovan is not stepping up to the plate saying, I want to be up out of here. So because that's not happening, I'm assuming Donovan's going to be there. And I've already seen, I had some stuff up. I apologize, I don't have it for you guys now. But I had some stuff up. I see there's rumors. There's people who want Rudy Gobert. They're getting some action over there. There's obviously packages for Donovan, but they're not getting rid. I don't think they're getting rid of both. Okay, they're not trying to do that. We already know that the All-Star game is going to be in Utah next year. They need something, for their team to be represented in some way or fashion. And they're not ready to rebuild. Like, Utah still wants to try to push. Utah's in that weird spot where they haven't really done anything, and they're not ready to start from scratch. So they're keeping somebody. They're keeping one of those two dudes. And I think they're going to try to keep Donovan. I think that if you take Donovan out the equation, who's really left that you can go after that teams are ready to part with? We don't know. Like, you got to really figure it out. You have to check around the league and see if there's somebody who you didn't think you could get that's available. But the guys we do know, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, like this sign and trade type situations. Like, who can you really go get? Like, some of these guys, honestly, I don't see it. And I don't know if the Knicks going to get like a Zach LaVine makes that much of a difference at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. I don't see it. I think they're going to have to go another year, man. Go another year, do a solid job in the draft, do a solid job in free agency, move some of this weight that hasn't been doing anything for you up out of here, get some smart basketball players in here who have some good talent, so that we look a little better than what we did last year, and go from there. And hopefully Tibbs gets, this is a show and prove year. I said it already. It's show and prove for RJ, show and prove for Randall, show and prove for Tibbs. These guys all need to step up and do something better than what we saw last year. And if that don't happen, then someone else is going to be up out of here. That's the only way I can look at it. I don't know how else we can see it. Before we move on, let me just obviously get to a couple things. And I see we have a super chat. First off, Big Shiesty, salute to you. What's good? Ron Sarmiento, what's going on? Appreciate you. We survived 100 people asked me, are we doing a draft show? We are going to be doing a mock draft show on Tuesday night. I think it's going to be 8 p.m., 7:30 or 8. I think it's going to be 8. So look forward to seeing that. On Tuesday night, we'll do a mock draft. It's still Knick fans with my guy, D Poetic, and my guy, Prophet from Feed Sports. However, the draft night, I will be on NBK. We're going to be shooting live from Atlantic City for the NBA draft party, the NBK draft party, should I say. So tune into that. That should be pretty fun. And you already know there's some of your favorite people in the chat. Some of your favorite content creators will be in the building. So we're going to have a good time. All right. So let me get to the super chat. Jermaine Royster, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. I think as fans, we should all get our minds right because Randall will be back. Says, I agree, Ron. Play-in tournament should be the goal. Hit the like button. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think, look, honestly, if we're really being realistic, guys, with what we got going on and what we're trying to do, we want Julius Randle to ball out next year. We want him to succeed because he's already here. We got him. We don't got to trade for him. He's here. We get the best out of Julius next year. We are cooking. Now you just got to figure out how to build the rest of the team. Julius and RJ, get some of these people. Look, Burks got to go. Nerlens Noel got to go. And who knows? Nerlens Noel could come back next year and play 70 games for the Knicks or for some other team and be great. But I'm ready to move on. I moved on.
You know he probably will go ahead and ball out. You know his
I know he will.
Jay
Boogie, I know how this works. I know he will, bro. But that's okay. It's time to move on. It is what it is.
Hey, real quick, man. You know, I'm gonna jump off just while we talk about contracts and everything. You know, I got a little bit of breaking news, man. You know what I'm saying? Just want to bring a smile and happiness. You know, I'm quite sure everybody don't seen the footage that Freezy put up about Derrick Rose being all big and out of shape. Breaking news is, you know what I'm saying, Jay Boogie right now, you know, I'm in training right now. I'm going into preseason, you know what I'm saying, to see if I can bring a smart ball player. I'm in training right now, so just to let y'all know. If Derrick Rose can look like that, I can get in shape, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but God bless y'all, man. I can jump off, man. Spend some more time with my little one, man. Just wanted to do what I do on Saturdays, man. Y'all the greatest people in the world. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep, you know what I'm saying, keeping that, you know, hoping that pressure for everybody that don't like it, just orange and blue. Shout out to the greatest fans. That's what greatest people it is in the world in the chat, man. Y'all have a great weekend. 3 capital S's. Salute, salute, salute.
All right, Jay Bud. That's a dope list, though, you got, Jay Bud. I need to cop one of those. This
that personal Allen Houston bucket.
Oh, okay. Man,
nice.
I see you. All right, you have a good weekend, though, Jay Bud.
Do the same, man.
Happy Father's Day to you once again, brother. And once again to everybody. Appreciate y'all. And let me say this, man, because you know what? Shout out to the LGBT community. You know, I don't think I've ever really shouted y'all out like that. Appreciate to everybody. I know this is Pride Month, and I'm not really saluting or shouting out Pride Month because, to be honest, let's just think about this for a minute. We don't even know how people feel about Pride Month. You know what I mean? Like Black History Month, I don't go to my friends and be like, yo, happy Black History Month. We don't do that. So, like, you know, I don't even know if that means much to them. But what I will say is shout out to y'all. You know, the most important thing about pride is having pride in yourself and pride in others. So let's keep that going. Salute to everybody. One world, one planet. We all need to love each other. You know what I mean? It's too much hate in the world. So just wanted to put that out there. You know, we need some better energy.
True.
So, yeah, I think that if I'm being honest, yeah, that's the most important thing. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think the best case scenario for the Knicks is for Randle to be here doing well. What do you think about that, Marvin?
I'm sorry, I stepped out. What was the question again, Ron?
I was saying that I think for the Knicks to really succeed at the moment, right now, I mean, because I think there's not too many things they can really do to change things around this year. They can get better players, but if you're looking for superstar players, it's slim pickings right now.
Yes, I agree with that. Also,
so I was saying the best thing is for Randle to ball out and really do well for the Knicks.
Now, definitely, if he's gonna be here, he needs to really show up seriously. And far as the big name, big fish. The reason I brought it up, Ron, is because I don't think the Knicks have had a big fish come in since Carmelo Anthony. I think it's time for that. I think it's time for us to look a little above the mediocre players, and let's try to get somebody in here that really can make a difference. But in order for the Knicks to get a lot better, if we're going to have Randle, he definitely needs to play well this year.
I gotta agree with you on that, Marvin and Ron. We need him to play better. If he goes back to the most improved player. That's what we need, and that's the Randle we need, the most improved. I'm not saying he's gonna hit all the shots, but he made better reads. You know, he played the ball with better control. This instead of trying to force it. You know, only thing we didn't see last year was the dubious handles Randle when he was doing the spin, the whirling dervish, when he like the Tasmanian devil. We didn't see that last season like we saw his first season. But if he plays within. And I'm not even saying score, you know, he just has to play better, period. You know, and if he plays better, that can uplift the rest of the team as well, especially with the way the offense and everything. Well, the team was running through him. So if he's playing better, I'm looking for everything else to start falling in place. RJ will play better. But and not to deviate from what you were talking about, just real quick on RJ got to hit free throws, man. That's one of my main things. This is RJ and his free throws. RJ is shooting, what, 70%? Or is it 60, 70% from free throw line? If he can get that joke up to 77, I'm a happy man. I can live with RJ at 77. 5'7". But back to Randall, he just needs to play better to help the team. He's going to be here for a while. If he's going to be the man.
For me, it has to be Randall's mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to, instead of working out in the gym, you know, throwing up weight with Jericho, he needs to be doing some yoga with IQ. You know what I'm saying? He needs to just calm down a little bit. He needs to take that Pedro Serrano role. You remember Pedro Serrano from Major League? He needs to throw some sage. He needs to throw some sage in the locker room. You know what I mean?
Keep some tequila in there for Joe Boo.
Right. Instead of being mad all the time, he needs to just laugh it off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop letting people get into his head like that, because once that happens, it's a wrap. It's over with. You know what I mean?
I definitely believe this. If Randall comes back, like, all right, we take away, we always, a lot of us Knicks fans always devalue our players. Randall was a 20, 10, and 5 guy. He's a great player, man. He gets busy. He just made it to the All-Star and the whole 9, right? Last year, he had a baby in the beginning of the year. He didn't come into shape. He wasn't ready to play. You know, it may have affected the way he went on in the season. This year is speculated that he's already out in Terrytown playing with the young guys like he was doing 2 years ago. He's up there. He's ripped his body to shreds right now. He's trying to look better. He may even come back with a different mentality this year like he did 2 years ago. We had a couple of players around this guy, and RJ could blossom. The bad side about Randall being here is what we're going to see from Obi Toppin. You know, how many minutes Obi Toppin is really going to get. You know what I mean? A lot of the Knicks fans right now are scammering about this guy, Obi Toppin. He needs 25, 30 minutes a night, doing this and doing that. Last couple of games of the season, he played very well, and it made it more enticing to want to see this guy play more and more. So that is the big dilemma that the New York Knicks really going to have right now. This is the dilemma, what they're going to do with these two guys. I believe RJ is going to come back hot. I think he's going to be more efficient this year. I think IQ going to have a better head on his body. I think Grimes is going to be the sleeper for us. We talking about these big guys coming out this year. I think Grimes this year is going to be one of the players, and I hope that we can move Fournier so he can start. I think him starting with, if IQ is going to be the point guard, and RJ at the 3, I think that's going to be a really good little young crew right at the top. I think that would be real good. But another one of my things, I'm a homer for Mitch Robinson. I want to know what's going to happen with Mitch.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
That's my big dilemma. I believe he's our defensive center. I think last year he played real good. He started off slow, but at the end of the year, he came in and he produced. And I mean, he had some big games for us, and he had a lot of defensive games. Everybody talk about Mitch Robinson not blocking as many shots as he did in his first year in the league. You know, like 4 blocks a game, 3-4 blocks a game. But what he does is he makes players go to the hole and almost block your shot. When you see Mitchell down on the block, you very rarely see somebody really try to really go contest Mitchell Robinson, and that's what we need. That's what Tibbs likes about him. You know, I mean, he makes those almost blocks. So those are the things that I think. You know, I think we're gonna have a great year, man. I think these guys are gonna come out a little more hungry. Like I said, watch out for this guy Grimes this year, man. I think Grimes is gonna be a bright light in our season this year. I think if he stays healthy, I think he's going to start doing some of them things, driving to the hole like he was doing in high school and all that stuff. And that's about it, man. I'm hopeful for the New York Knicks. Like I said before, it's not what's on the back, it's what's in the front.
Yeah, so you said a couple things, though. You talked about Obi, you know, the fans wanting Obi to get on the court, you know what I'm saying, but Randall's in the way. Like, I don't look at it like that. You know, like If
You think
Obi wants,
you think they could put him at 3? I'm hoping
that's
they could
up
put
to
him at 3.
Obi. That's
Yeah,
up to
that's
Obi.
true.
If I'm Obi, I'm out there working off season with some DBs. You know what I'm saying? Working
I
on those
feel you.
hips, getting those hips, turning, working on your footwork, your lateral movement. Going salsa dancing with your girl on Fridays and Saturday nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not looking like, oh, this guy's in front of me. How do I get on the court? How do I get on the court? First of all, you can play, if you do all that this off season, you can play the 3, Obi. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about Randall being in your way. Those are the types of things you would do. Getting, he already has that foot speed. It's just that lateral movement, that backpedaling. Just opening up his hips, those types of things. So just do that and not worry about, Randall's taking my minutes. No, how else am I going to get on the court? Rebounding, you know what I'm saying? Timing those hoops. When that ball goes off the rim, you have that athleticism to go baseline and catch those oops, catch those rebounds, clean the glass that way. That's how he's going to get on the court. I'm saying, not looking for people to find him in his spots. Get your own bucket, work on those handles, get those handles tight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That too. Then the other question you mentioned was Mitchell Robinson. I like Mitch. You mentioned he's I always say he's like a Rottweiler, a loose Rottweiler inside the yard that you're just not going to go in there and challenge him. But at the second point is, though, I'm not willing to pay all that money to Mitch, and I think Mitch is trying to live for
$13 million.
But he could get it. No, I'll pay $13 million though.
Oh, okay, that's what I think he's doing.
Only
place I think is going to give him something like 16, 17 million, maybe Detroit.
Detroit would be the only one unless they saw him in the draft.
I think that's the only one. And even if they offer 17, I think we could still do 13 with some incentives. Mitch, you make something. You make the All-Star team this year. You get an extra $2 million. Make some big incentives. So at 13, he could still make 18 million. I think we could buy out anybody on the court. I think we could buy him out, but we don't have to pay him up front. He has to earn it, I believe.
Yeah, but peep this though. He got like 5 different agents. He's already on his 4th or 5th agent.
He got good agents. He got what's the agent? Oh man, I just forgot the name of that agency. The agency he got right now is a qualified one. It's a big name. What's the name of that thing?
But they're meant to get you to bag those. What I'm saying though, they're meant to get you.
Yeah,
paid.
he fired some of his agents because they weren't giving him, especially his contract he got.
Yeah.
I mean, his current agent right now is actually a pretty good agent.
Yeah,
he's happy with him. I forgot his name, but he's happy with him.
He's happy. He's happy with him because he's talking in his ear, talking about, "I'm gonna get you paid. I'm gonna get you paid." All you gotta do is go to Detroit and catch oops. No one's gonna ask anything from you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more. We got this young cat. You know what I'm saying? Called Cade Cunningham. All he's gonna do is find you catching oops and protect the rim. We don't need anything else from you. Why not do that? What has the New York Knicks done for him that makes him want to stay? Even if you wanted that 5th-year contract, he's not trying to do us any favors, you know what I'm saying? Because he could do a sign and trade, get that 5th-year contract, and get more money if that's what he wanted. But he's not trying to do us any favors because we ain't done him no favors, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's going out to get whatever he can on his own and not look out for us because we didn't look out for him.
Let me do this. Let me say a couple things. So this might be a little long-winded because I just want to get a couple things out and then get to my man Hinton. Salute to you, brother. Pleasure to see you as always.
It's good. What's good? How's everybody doing?
What's good, my man?
Peace.
All right.
And I'm straight. So shout out to the chat once again. Hit that like button. Appreciate y'all. Krillian's Underlow. I see you. Finessful J's in the building. Keyshawn's here. Nick Jr. What's going on? Akuma's in the building. 19 Con Man is here. Bricks Nation. Sherwin M. Francisco Carrillo is in the building. What's going on, brother? Walter Blackman Jr. Salute to you, brother. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. So here's a couple things. I'm getting this out of the way. Don P's not even here right now, but I hope he's listening. He mentioned Victor Oladipo, and we got sidetracked. I said I was going to look up Victor Oladipo's stats, and Victor Oladipo, even when he was healthy and balling out, he averaged around 4 to 5 assists, right? And that's not bad for a guy who's one of your primary scoring options. I mean, one year with Indiana, he averaged 4 assists, 4.3, and he was averaging 23 points and 2.4 steals, and he was a demon. So I mean, that's great, right? But the only thing is he also had 2.9 turnovers, almost 3 turnovers. So the assist to turnover ratio is not great. And that shows me that, as far as facilitating, he's not really that guy. He can do it. He obviously can pass to his teammates and try to, pass out of double teams and stuff, but he's not a facilitator, if you will. So I hope that answered the Oladipo question, because I was a little iffy on that. The other thing I wanted to get to, and then I'm gonna jump into Mitch and get Hinton's take on stuff, is the Jaden Ivey stuff. We were talking about it before, and I was doing all this behind the scenes, but we were talking. I didn't want to stop anybody. Jaden Ivey last year averaged 17 points per game, right? He played 31 minutes per game. He shot 46% from the field, 35% from three, which is not horrible considering he doesn't have the greatest jump shot. But he shot 74.4% from the free throw line, almost 75%. I mean, we got guys on our team that not sniffing 75%. RJ,
be honest, Ron. You got guys that can't hit the elephant in the backside with an iron board.
Exactly, brother. RJ is one of our best players, and he's not sniffing that. So I'm saying, once again, that points to Ivey maybe turning into a better shooter. Like, once you get him, you got him, and you know what you got. And if he gets better and turns into a better shooter, he's going to take this league by storm. We've seen other guys like Jason Kidd improve their shooting. Another example that I'm going to say right now, while I was doing this, I took a look at Jimmy Butler. Let me tell you something.
He's another one.
Don't know Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets. He averaged 21 points this year, 21 last year. But he shot 23% from three, 24% from three the year prior to that. He shot 48% from the field this year, 49% last year. He shoots 87% from the free throw line. Last year, he shot 86. So the shot is not broken. He's just a three for whatever. Maybe the range with a three-point shot doesn't fit for him, so the range is a little tougher. But, my point is the guy averaged 21 points per game, and he shoots almost 90% from the free throw line. Anything can happen with these guys. Jaden Ivey's a young player who can work on his shot and develop and become really good. So I just wanted to put that out there because I had looked at it before, and I wanted to mention it to everybody. Now, in regards to Mitchell Robinson, let's see what you guys think about Mitch, because one of the topics of this show was what happens if Mitch leaves and who replaces Mitch. Fansided had put out an article where they gave 3 options for the Knicks as replacements. Now, these aren't major ticket guys, right? But these are guys that could fit in. It takes minimum money for the most part to get them. The most expensive one is Mo Bamba. You guys already know about Mo Bamba.
That name has been talked about a lot in the community.
Correct. But other guys are Thomas Bryant. You guys know who Thomas Bryant is. He's battled some injuries, but when he's healthy, he's a good player on the court. He can definitely do some stuff that can help the Knicks. And then another player they mentioned is Nick Claxton from the Nets. So what do you guys think about that? I'll start with Hinton. First off, Hinton, you're welcome to talk about anything that you wanted to talk about, and I'll get your opinion on this as well, man. What's going on, brother?
Not much, It's getting closer to that time, and I'm detaching from basketball as football season gets closer, but I still want to talk about our team before, the off season kind of summer league and football season kick in. So, it is what it is, but I actually like Mitch. I think we should keep Mitch, in the big picture things. But the problem is for me that I treat centers like running backs in the NFL, So you can, like running backs, you can move them. You don't have to pay them too much, And when you look at the finals, the centers are not the most, all they do is play defense and get boards. But, there's a price to that, So for me, I'd like to keep Mitch. Plus, you need to keep your core intact, because when you have championship teams, you're going to need at least 3 or 4 of those guys that are part of your core of the team. So eventually you're going to have to keep some of these guys, just to keep your core and your chemistry together. So for me, he's one of those pieces for me that you have to keep, because he's part of the culture, is what, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think Mitch is still an important piece. I would not let him leave.
I hear you. What do you think about Mitch and those options, Sub?
So I kind of missed a little bit of it when I walked away. But to talk about Mitch, I mentioned it just paying him at 13 million. He's going to be gone. But I don't really want to, like, we have the 11th pick. So Mark Williams could be there. Maybe Jalen Duren could be there. I'm not trying to pick neither one of those guys at 11. You don't really, I think is it Soaps?
Yeah.
Yeah. He mentioned, look at the finals, those guys are just rim runners. You don't really feature them. Those guys that you draft number 1 overall, Cat, Joel Embiid, Ayton, all those guys. Those guys haven't won a chip anyways. I don't want to put all that money into one player, 25, million to a center that's down there banging with the trees, injury prone, all of that. So to me, like I said, I'd put the money somewhere else. Point guard, wings, this is a wing driven league. Let's go that route. Then, if Mitch doesn't want that 13 milli, let him walk. And I mentioned we could get somebody like Koloku, Kamagate, Diop at the end, or you get somebody that you can mold at the end of the draft, like a Orlando Robinson, a stretch 5, someone who could shoot 3, someone who could create.
I like Orlando Robinson. Continue, my brother.
Yeah. So that I didn't mention him earlier though, but I would go that route. And if he's still there at the end of the draft, then just jump back in the end of the draft, get the Pacers last pick or whatever, and then pick him up. Throw him in the weight room because he's super skinny. Throw him in the weight room with Jericho Sims and Julius Randle, and let him bulk up. Let him, start taking that creatine, eat that chicken, rice, and vegetables, and then slowly develop him that way. That's kind of the route I would go instead of, and for all those guys like the Bismack Biombos, the JaVale McGee's, all those guys that take veteran minimums, the assigned white sides, that 5 milli or whatever, it's going to end up being a 10, 11 milli when they come to New York, like a Noel's, because we don't get those type of deals because the lights are too bright and we expect too much from them. So
what my question to you is, I heard what you said. What do you think if the Knicks do decide, we lose Mitch and they do decide to kind of, fill that position in free agency outside of Mo Bamba, because Mo Bamba is the most expensive. What do you think about Thomas Bryant or a Nick Claxton? Because those would probably be a lot more affordable. Wouldn't take much money to bring those guys in to just fill a position.
Yeah,
same thing you would get from a Nerlens Noel, basically, but maybe a little bit more because they're younger and more athletic, I would think.
Right. You always need bodies, period, though, because the Knicks always have 4 centers. Whether it's a Norval Powell, just a body that you bring into camp, somebody who's on a 2-way contract like Jericho Sims was, because those guys always, they're always getting hurt, so we have to bring in bodies regardless. I just don't want to pay too much for just someone who's going to clog the paint, someone who's going to protect the rim. We've never really featured them. I'm okay with just having right now, even if we get rid of Noel's and we trade him somewhere and somebody wants him, kind of like Christian Wood just got picked up. Even if he's gone, I'm okay with going into the starting the season with Taj being our starter, and Jericho Sims being the backup. But we still need a body or two to develop meanwhile, or pick up on a small veteran minimum contract. Let's not just put too much money into it though.
Right.
I'm on this. I'm once again, I'm a Mitchell Robinson homer. I wish we could keep Mitch. I think we could even go up to 14-2 to get Mitch or something like that, 14-5 or whatever to get him. But if Mitch leaves, I don't see us getting no Mobamba. I'm telling you, Noel's not going to be moved. I think Noel's going to be our starter center next year. And then Sims is going to back him up, and then we're going to have Taj off the bench. I don't think we're going to pick up a center in the draft. It's possible, but I don't think we will. I think we're more going to go on the lines of getting a wing if we're not moving up for Ivey to get that the point guard. He's really not a true point guard, but a point guard-ish type of guy. I know we're not getting. I don't think we're going nowhere. I don't think we're going to be able to touch Brunson. I think he's probably going to get close to $24-25 million over there at the Mavs. I don't think we could afford that right now unless we move these contracts. And I think if Mitch leaves, I think we're going to be running with Noel as the starting center next year. And I think Sims will back him up. Noel will fill the spot like Mitchell Robinson would, with some of the same defense, the blocking ability. He's not a great rebounder, but if he stays healthy, we can maybe make it to at least the All-Star break and before we can move him.
Yeah, I like that line of thinking. Can I just add something to that though? I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and run with that whole unit. And if we're not doing good, you know what I'm saying, towards the trade deadline, you get rid of Noels like you mentioned. But another body that I didn't mention to bring in that may go undrafted is a Kofi Coburn. You know what I'm saying? A big guy who's going to clog the paint. He's kind of like a bootlegged Shaquille O'Neal, just real big, real strong, overpower you, can back you up in the post, just yam on you. He's not going to do anything.
What's his name again? What's his name again?
Kofi 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 Coburn. And
big guy, man. He's a big guy.
Yeah, big, strong guy, but he's slow-footed. He's not going to run from Illinois. Yeah, he's not going to run up and down the court. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect him to be, catching oops, going baseline. Not athletic like that, but just like I mentioned, just someone to kind of just hold down the fort. Just he could work you in the post though. So if you throw him the rock down on the block, he'll get you a bucket that way. But that's someone who could go undrafted, someone that we don't have to spend the money towards. And if these guys get hurt, you go plug and play them in. So that's kind of the route.
I'm really hoping Aiden goes out into this draft thing too, because now with Mobamba and Aiden, that's two centers that may supersede Mitchell Robinson. They both going to go for big money, and maybe that might be a way that we could keep Mitch too. I'm a homer. I keep saying it. My bad.
I hear you.
I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with my man Shy on that. I'm not a homer per se. Well, I like Mitch, but I won't say I'm a homer. I would like to see him
not to cut you out. I will if we could get Mobamba at 10, 12 or something like that. I'm with that too. Just to say that.
Well, let me just say this. Let me put that out. That's why I put this up. Building blocks. Hey man, listen. If we could get Mobamba at 10 million, of course, why not? But let me tell you something. Mobamba is making 10 million now. Mobamba ain't trying to make 10 million again. This is he's off of that first contract. Now it's his turn to get money.
Trying to get paid.
And Mobamba's done almost the same amount of stuff as Mitch. Mitch might be a better individual defender, maybe a better team defender than Mobamba, but Mobamba's a better offensive player. So you look at that. If Mitch is asking for 13, 14, Mobamba's asking for 13, 14. It's the same thing.
Exactly. Just like Aiden. Aiden's going to want 20, 25. He's going to want a max.
He wants money. He gonna want his money.
So I hope they go out there. I hope Aiden could go to maybe someone like Chicago. I think they got a little bit of cash. Let them go over there. Let Detroit take Mobamba, and we keep Mitch. I'm happy with that.
Well, how much money did Robert Williams the third get?
About 14 million. About 14.
Something like that. 14.
And let me tell you something. Robert Williams healthy, he's better than Mitch. That dude he's a baller, bro. And I'm saying he's better than Mitch because he does what Mitch was doing when we first got Mitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mitch
big,
was all over the place, like a freaking just a nightmare for defenses. And Robert Williams is showing me that. Now, I don't know. He might have the same fate as Mitch, because when you play like this, he's a little bigger than Mitch, so he's not as frail in his body, but he gets hurt too. When you play like this, you wind up getting yourself in position.
You get hurt a lot. Yeah, you can get hurt.
So I don't know if he can keep that up. But the way he's playing right now, it looks like he's something special.
I don't know if he's bigger than Mitch though, because you got to remember,
Mitch definitely thicker.
Mitch got up to 80.
He's shorter. I think he like 6'10". I think he like 6'10". But he thick, man. He like 250 something, 260. He thick.
And I know what you're saying, Hinton, because Mitch is bigger now. I'm thinking of Robert Williams now compared to Mitch when Mitch first came in. Mitch was even smaller then.
Yeah, because Mitch,
Mitch was a
Mitch
snap
is
P when he
perfect.
first came to the league.
Right.
Mitch is perfect at 250 because remember,
Right. Exactly.
Remember, he was dragging and he was slow.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. He bulked up and got himself
too
out of
big.
shape. He had to kind of lose some of that weight. He lost about 15 to 20 pounds just to get himself right.
Yeah.
I was sorry about that, Ryan.
No, go ahead.
I would just say this, keep in mind though, Mitch was coming back off that doggone injury with the foot. So, and he had to play it. We watched him actually play himself back in shape. And then if I'm not mistaken,
games.
Yeah. He had to play himself back into shape. And then he did have the episode with Rona and he came back. So I'm good. I like Mitch. And it's not be, maybe saying what borderline homer being a homer with it. But if Detroit's if they make a move and get one of those other centers, Mitch will be coming back. So we kind of like at a crossroad. We're at a standstill to see what's going on with Mitch. I think once we understand what Mitch does, what the organization's going to do with Mitch, we can kind of see which direction or we can kind of see which way we're going to go once Mitch, the dust is settled with Mitch. Because we're looking at the like I said, with the draft, you can look at the players we're bringing in to see what we're looking at as the organization, the front office is looking at as far as player-wise. Because some of we want players, but my man Subliminal, I'm going to start calling you Scout 209. Bump Subliminal.
You got me writing names down to go look. All right, as soon as I get off here, I'm going to check and stuff.
Yeah, man. I got to start calling you Scout 209 because, man, he's been dropping some stuff on us, man.
Yeah, man.
You think about it, he's talking about players that you don't hear the mainstream talk about. You got to go and do some research and look at this and look at what these other players are bringing. Because you could get, and I'm not saying it's like, it's like, all right, and this is a bad comparison because, shout out to Freeze. It's almost like I'm using the ham sandwich comparison, but I'm not. It's like, okay, you can go get Frosted Flakes or you can get the other generic brand. You can get the Frosted Mini Wheats or you can get the scoop, the mini scoops or wheat scoops. It tastes the same, just in a different package, but it's gonna get the same product. You see what I'm saying? You can find a guy. Hold on, let me go take care of my Cujo's up there acting the nut. If you hear him in the background, but you could get the same player to fit what you need without having to get the big name money. And I'm not trying to be in the Knicks back pocket and count their money, but look at the players you can get because you could get a lot. You could find you a really, really good player that you didn't know about by just doing the research and scouting. Again, shout out to Scout 209.
Facts. And let me tell you, listen, that's why I'm saying, guys, what Subliminal is saying is this is the reality, man. As Knick fans, as basketball fans, period, like we're concerned with our teams. We watch what's going on in the NBA. Maybe some of us don't pay attention to too much stuff that's happening in college, overseas. There's so many different players that are interesting that have skill sets that might fit and help our team. Since we've had so much big lack of talent, there's a lot of guys that can come in here and help us right now. I don't know if Tibbs is with that. You know how it is. We got Tibbs as a coach. Let's not forget. But they can still do that. They can come in and help us and give us some type of impact. If nothing else, they're going to push the players in practice. They're going to push our starters. And, they may knock some of these guys out the mix because guys who ain't doing what they got to do, at some point, you got to show and prove. And this Knick team's seen enough of that last year. The organization, if they're going to have to go back and forth with Tibbs about it, so be it. And I think they will this year because last year was just a little bit of an embarrassment. Like we should have been a better basketball team. And the way we lost games is disturbing. Like to Knick fans, and I guess, you think we upset. I'm looking at some of these games, looking at Scott Perry and Leon Rose sitting in the stands, looking at how we blowing 20-point leads. They ain't happy. So I'm just saying, like, I think this year we're going to be in better shape. And once again, guys, if you haven't already checked out, we did two draft shows, part of our draft series. And especially both shows have a bunch of different players. The first show, especially, we went really deep in it. And we talked about a lot of guys like Subliminal was mentioning, the guys like Orlando Robinson. These are guys that you're not hearing a lot about. But as Subliminal said, these are guys that could fit with a team. You're not you're not at a loss if the second round you get a guy like Orlando Robinson as your big. There's different players, or a Kofi. Like these guys are all have solid basketball acumen, and they can fit the team. Now they're not going to blow you away, but they can fit and put a body that's going to give you some production. You're not just going to get a stiff out that is not doing anything. You know what I mean? So just there's a lot of guys out there that we can look at. I also wanted to give a shout out once again to my man Pudge Nice, my man Allah Wise, Paris Duggan in the building. What's going on? And you know, I haven't done this, and I've been meaning to do this for a couple episodes. This is no slight to anybody. I hope nobody takes offense to this. I appreciate y'all. This is just a shout out to my moderators. I made you guys moderators for a reason. I watch other shows. I've seen how much, you know, how great you guys are in the chat. I see what you do for other shows, how you keep the balance, keep everything straight. And that's why I wanted to have you guys as moderators as well. So just shout out to all my moderators. I appreciate y'all. But I also want to make it known that, listen, if you have differences of opinion with somebody in the chat, don't necessarily silence them. Okay, I want everybody to be able to speak their mind, whatever they got going on. As long as people aren't disrespectful, or you see something that happens in the chat and it looks wild, it looks crazy, and I can't catch it, definitely, please, you know, obviously you can silence those people, put them in the timeout, whatever you got to do, but allow people to get their joints off, man. It's okay if we have a difference of opinion. There's no need to go back and forth and get negative with it. And like I said, this is not a slight to anybody. I'm shouting everybody out. The reason why you're a mod, I didn't just throw mods out there. I added you people as mods because I respect y'all. I like your opinion. I like how y'all live in the chat. And I also think y'all going to keep me straight. So thank you. That's all. I just wanted to say that real quick. I appreciate y'all. So now back to what we were talking about. Yeah, so I think there's different avenues and different things that we can explore. Here's another thing that I was thinking about. And this is why, you know, sometimes it's bad that the draft is happening before free agency. But one thing that is good is that what happens if somehow the Knicks do go all out and get Ivey? If the Knicks get Ivey, I don't think Mitch is leaving. I think Mitch is going to be like, oh, Ivey going to be running up and down the court. I'm going to run with Ivey. He's going to get me lobs. We're going to be moving. I think Mitch might like if the Knicks get Ivey. So I'm just saying things like that to think about.
Well, that's a good point, Ron, because, you know, one of the things, you know, Mitch has put it in, we've seen it in Twitter or reports of it that, you know, he's talking about he's getting all this cardio, you know, running up and down the court, not getting anything. And I know the knock on him is he doesn't take any shots. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. I'm more looking like the consistency thing. I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, and I know Mitch has been with us for a while, but how many, you know, he's gone through a few coaches already himself. He didn't play college. He sat out. You know, he was in the Y. He was training and going on. And Tibbs has been the most consistent coach he's had. So it's the way they use him. But not having that, and it's been the talk forever, not having that point guard does make a difference for certain players. And, you know, if you can get a point guard, not even as Jaden Ivey. If it's the what was the other cat that you brought up, another guard, point guard.
Oh, Cade Cunningham.
Oh no,
on the draft. There's a Dyson Daniels. There's a Ty Washington. There's
Ben Mathurin.
Ben Mathurin is more of a shooting guard.
Yeah. Well, he got.
You got Johnny Davis.
Terry, Andrew Nembhard. There's a Hugo Besson. So
say you get a. Yeah, you're naming a point guard. Just say we get another point guard. But even though we do have, you still got Deuce, and you know Deuce may become a solid. He could be a solid backup. You know, we don't know what we exactly have with him because he hadn't got enough time. You start if you got IQ. IQ comes along. You got to develop. I know some that don't. You got some that's like, all right, cool. You got others that hate. You know, would rather blow up the garden than see IQ take the point. But, you know, if you get him with a point guard, Mitch may want to stay. You get a right point guard in there. Who's to say that they won't make a move? If I'm, you know, for me, the person I like for him to make them or organization I could go to would be OKC. See what's up with Trey Mann. You know, they got point guards down there and say, hey, you know, I'll knock on the door, flip over every stone and see what you can do to get a Trey Mann on the trade. That's just me. So, you know, everybody has their own way of looking at it or whatever. But I think for me, Mitch is a piece that I would like to see us hold on to. That's all. I would like to see us hold on to him. But if he goes, I understand the man got to get paid. That contract he got is disgusting, man. That's a disgusting, atrocious contract. He should have fired off on his agent right off the bat. Drop kicked him in the neck for that contract he got, man.
Right. Yeah, because that deal, like you mentioned, could have been done a long time ago. So why are they waiting to the last minute to get it done? Like the 30th is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm preparing myself to be gone, for him to be gone. I don't think I don't like Mitch though. I got my Mitch Please shirt in my room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
like I put that joint on. I put that joint on when he's on the court. So we all know what he brings to the table. Like we ain't never seen anybody fall underneath the rim, get up and go block a 3-pointer in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never seen that before. I ain't never seen Kevin Durant's shot get blocked clean.
I was about to say that
on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Like those are different. Those are elements that are just unicornish. Like you just don't see that. So don't think that I don't like Mitch. It's just that I feel like he wants to get paid as he should, and he's going to go chase the bag. So I'm just preparing for that to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, listen, man. I think that having the Mitch here is still very important. I don't want them to lose Mitch. If they do, they do. But no one wants Mitch to go. I think we all know the value Mitch. And first off, let's not forget, outside of his defense, Mitch is one of the best offensive rebounders.
Yes, sir.
He's number 2 in the NBA, not just on the Knicks. He's in the NBA. He's number 2. So
and I just want to bring this up real quick. I ain't trying to hog up nothing, but shout out to my man Alawise. He and I were talking about this, and you realize that Mitch is one of the best offensive rebounders, right? And Julius Randle's a good defensive rebounder.
Exactly. That's why Mitch doesn't grab. Everyone talks about Mitch grabbing defensive rebounds. The reason why he doesn't is because of Randle. But Randle doesn't grab offensive rebounds. The fact is because of Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, right. That works together really well if you look at it. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not me being a homer for Randle. I'm just saying give the man some due. Whoever give the man some. You got to give him his love on that. Randle's a good defensive rim. He's a good, and he
20, 10, and 5, man. 20, 10, and 5. I'm not a big. If we can move off of Randle, I'm not mad. If we keep Randle, I'm not mad at all. I think Randle, if he stays wherever he goes or wherever he's going to be an offensive threat no matter where he goes. If Randle stays here, I think he's going to come back and have more that 2-year ago attitude with this new team. And if he goes somewhere else, I think he's going to flourish somewhere else, especially if he goes to i.e. Portland. I think if he goes over there with Dame, I think he's going to have a magnificent year.
Yeah, right. My guy Soap's been real quiet over there. You got something to add?
I just piggyback off of what you guys say.
Okay.
I just add caveats and other ideas.
Nah, man.
I know how you get down. Hey, I've heard you. You got some fire. You be dropping some jewels.
Yeah, thank you.
Salute to East Blue Drew. Appreciate you. It's Me is in the building. What's going on? Parrish Douglas said trade back for the 13th and 15th picks and take 2 talents, Agbaji and Jalen Williams. And let me tell you something. I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy if the Knicks did that.
I'm more optimistic about that with Brock Aller, man. I'm more optimistic getting 13. And I think like you said, Agbaji, but I think we may sneak in to get Eason. It all depends on who it is. I don't think that's what I think.
To me, like I just don't like. I'm still so iffy on Eason, and I know what he can do, but my whole thing is when I think of Eason, I think of Sohan, and if I'm thinking of Sohan, I'd rather have Sohan because Sohan could be a Dennis Rodman, he could be a Draymond Green, like Sohan could be something special. If you're gonna take that route, you might as well go get him.
I'm right there with Sohan because that's who I liked before. But so the only reason and he could probably make this game better, this part of his game better. His free throw percentage is like 56%. He's real low at free throws. He is that's who I like. I like Sohan, but I think Eason. might be a better fit. That's what I think. And plus, I don't think Sohan's going to be there. I think Sacramento. I mean, San Antonio. Or something one of them. Yeah, I think San Antonio is going to take him.
Definitely. He's a San Antonio.
That's what I don't think he's going to be there anyway. Yeah, I think he might.
He got
might
Popovich
go.
written all over him, man.
Right,
you see that? That's Popovich right there. You know, Popovich over there in the corner. Hey, he on draft night with the Birdman hands, bro. He wants that cat. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another one. There's just so many guys, and there's guys that are raw that you like. They're a little bit of a project, not a little bit. They're a project. So you know that you got to develop them because they're so raw, but they got the skill.
5 to 15.
Usman Yang.
That's
another one.
He's nice too. He's decent.
But see, just his right height, now,
his size, like
But see, right now,
his swag though, he just smooth with the rock though. Like he just at that size, you know, like you mentioned, a position of need, small forward too. But like you also mentioned, it's a project. Will he get on the floor with Tibbs as our coach, not being a really good defensive player? So that's the problem.
I think he goes right under us. I think he goes to OKC. I think OKC is a good fit for him. You don't think so?
I'll say this right here real quick. This show right now, you cats are just proving what the talking heads have been saying about this draft wrong by all these players you bringing up, other than the big names. You know what I'm saying? You're pulling out all these other names because if you look at it, it's a plethora here. And if we trade back, I'm looking for us to trade back. I'm not gonna lie to you. Only reason I'm saying, I would look for us to trade back more so than even stand pat. But if you had an opportunity to go up and grab you one of those names, one of those talents, you do it, but only at the right price. But I can see Brock Aller be like, nah, check this out. This is what I'm gonna do. Watch how I flip this. Go back and then pick up, give up one to give up two. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you're playing bones, I'll give you 15 so I can come back around and bust you in the head for a dirty 30 on the backside. Or, or I know I can lock the board up and take everything out of your hands. You got to be strategic about it. So, I can't say nothing about chess. I played chess a couple times and I can't remember too many steps for me to remember, man. I'm up here, hey, senility and old age and right setting in, so I can't remember that. I just stick to what I know. So, but I'm just saying, there's just so many moves that you can make. And Brock Aller's we've been good in the draft, and right now we're getting foundation pieces. We may not have gotten the superstar, that franchise, that crown jewel, but we're getting foundation pieces. You got to have a lot of times to build a house, you got to have a foundation, correct?
Right. Listen, and the other thing I was going to say is, being that there's so much flexibility and options, yes, we know already. I'm not going to keep saying it that there's no, you don't have the superstar at all these positions, all these draft spots. But say the Knicks did decide to take Sohan with the 11th pick. Now everybody's going to be like, okay, you got yourself a defensive gem, but he can't score. He can't do this. Now what are you going to do? The Knicks still have trade assets. They still have stuff they can move. They can move somebody, or even if it comes to like a guy like Burks, if that's still there, I don't know if it is. But if they can move Burks to Philadelphia for that 23rd pick, now you get 23 and you still keep 42, because I'm not trading. If I'm going with the defensive guy at 11, I'm keeping as many picks as I can keep, and I'm trying to get another one.
Don't forget, there's a lot of players in basketball that can control a game without scoring.
Yeah, right. No, definitely. No, I see the value in him. Yeah. I'm just saying, let's not forget the Knicks got some issues with scoring too.
Yeah, that's his
they
value,
put up good
though.
Numbers, points wise, but efficiency, they were horrible.
Yeah.
A lot of our guards couldn't even shoot 40% from the field.
Yeah, but Sohan can score though. He was 6th man of the year in his conference. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the bench, running the second unit. So he ran the second unit, kind of like you mentioned, like a Draymond Green, where he set the table up for others, and he could work the low post and take you off the bounce. So he's not a liability on the offensive end. It's just that 3-point shooting and that free throw percentage, though. But he knows his strengths, though, so he's not going to shoot it. He's going to hit you with a pump fake and then take you to the rack.
Yeah, so he's like his game would definitely look like a Ben Simmons. Because Ben Simmons can't shoot, but he can score. He could get points.
Yeah. So he's always keeping the Yeah, he's always keeping the Rock alive, looking with his head up, you know what I'm saying, trying to find the right guys, you know, either whether they're cutting or finding them in their spot. So it's not like if he's out on the perimeter with the Rock, he's just gonna back you down into the pinch post, then work you right there. You know, he's not gonna get shook if you press him. You know, he's gonna have control under, you know, with the Rock and make the right play. That's why I'm not so worried about him. Tari Eason, on the other hand, I'm like, oh, you know, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna lose the Rock? Is he gonna throw the ball away? Is he gonna, you know, not take the jumper? Like that's the part where it makes me more nervous. Right. And if you're gonna go that route, I'd rather take a high upside on a Ousmane Deng at that spot instead of a Tari Eason.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. And listen, the other center that I mean, you guys, if you've been watching me for the past 2-3 weeks, you know who I like. I haven't mentioned him once. I'm gonna mention him right now, but I'm not gonna get into it because I'm doing a video later today. Right. That's my guy Kai. You know, I love my guy Kai Sato.
You like him because of the ratings. I seen your views.
No, dude, listen. Let me tell you. Here's the funny thing. No, but I wanted to put this out there because this is the funny thing, right? The Kai Sato video that I did was a part of our big draft video. Like I just I separated the video, I separated it out and put it out there because I like him so much and I wanted that to live. Now I didn't know it was gonna live like that. I didn't know it was gonna go crazy like that. That was wild, bro. So shout out to all my Filipino.
You know, I'm just messing with you. Know? I'm just
but that
was dope.
Seriously,
I was like, look around.
Dude, I had no idea it was gonna hit like that. That was crazy, man. Appreciate y'all, my Filipino people. I know actually most of y'all are not watching because it's very late in the morning over there where y'all at. Y'all sleeping, most of y'all. So appreciate y'all though, because that was wild. But I like Kai Sato a lot. And when you watch my video that I'm gonna drop later, you'll see why I like him and why I think he could work for the Knicks.
Okay.
Is he someone that you think needs a little work? Yes. But to me, the biggest thing with him, I'll get into it later. All right. Is the fact that he only played 14. He was averaging 14 minutes a game.
All right. Do your boy a solid though, and talk about his defense and footwork and things like that, because that's the part.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of his offensive game, but I don't really hear too much about his defensive game. So if you do your boy a solid, just let me know so you put me on game.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna bring up. He's got some stuff that he needs to work on. But I like the fact that he likes to work. He gets in the gym. He's got a good his trainer, his coach is real good that is working with him. I'll bring that. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I thought you were saving it for later.
No. I'm not giving nothing away. I'm just saying, he's got a lot of stuff that he needs to continue to grow with. But I like him, man. When you see the video, hopefully you'll understand why I like him.
Cool. Yeah, me and the other 5 million people will be watching. Don't trip.
Yeah, see, it's going to be real interesting. As this draft, this is our Christmas, I guess you can say. Christmas, we're going to see how it is. We all like that little kid. You wait for Christmas to come so you can open up the package. That's what we want.
I better not get no socks for Christmas. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, as long as they ain't getting socks and tighty whities, we good.
Yeah.
But
yo guys, I want to give y'all a big shout out, man. Salute to you, Ron, and the panel. Salute to the chat. I'm about to be out of here and hit the road today and stuff like that on this beautiful day. Y'all guys enjoy your day and keep podcasting.
Yeah, all man. Right, thank you, Sha. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming up and being on the panel.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna do the same thing and dip out. You know what I'm saying? And
actually, y'all will all beat me. I was gonna end it at 2, but then I saw there was some more people that jumped on. I was like, I want to give everybody a chance to rock. So I was only gonna be on a couple more minutes anyway.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So let me just go around to you guys while y'all here. Subliminal. Anything you want to shout out? Any final words?
No, it's always a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, rocking with my man's Ron, you know what I'm saying, a couple times with Soul Finger number 12. I know we always in the chat together on Blorange Tears Network, and first time over here rocking with my man Soap, so it's been a pleasure, you know what I'm saying. I appreciate you letting me on, you know what I'm saying, and letting me vent, letting me talk about the draft because we all excited about it. I just feel like you just don't know. Like I said, you're nervous, exciting, all at the same time. And I just can't wait till next Thursday. Like, we're going to get it popping.
Dope.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. Excuse me. Soulfinger, any final words, brother?
I appreciate it, Ron. Let me.
My bad. Hold on. I forgot. Before I let him get off the hook, I can't do that. Guys, definitely don't forget. I don't know what's going to happen this Thursday. We got the draft, but definitely tune in to Knicks After Party with my man Subliminal and Cully on the Blorange Tears Network.
Oh, okay.
11 o'clock start?
11 p.m.
11 p.m., man. Every Thursday night is dope. Great content. You already see how Subliminal gives it up with I think I'm now I'm starting to see, man, he really likes this draft. This is his bag right here. So
definitely been doing my homework, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Soulfinger, go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, hey, appreciate it, Ron, for letting me come in. Hey, good seeing you again, Hinton. You got it up there going by Soaps now, and my man can't call him Subliminal 209. It's gonna be, I'm gonna start calling him Scout 209. So we don't get a chance to get on together a lot. We always in, like I said, chat in the chat, but it's gonna be interesting. And like I said, everybody wants. It's like Christmas, and it can't get here fast enough. I will just say this to Knicks Nation: relax, and be patient when it comes to the draft. Let's not, look at whoever we draft as the savior, because right now we're still putting it together. That's what we're doing. We're putting this thing together, and once the product is done, we'll be fine. For Randall side, you got Team Randall, you got Team Obi, or the Randall clan, the Obi clan. Look, we need to stop the infighting amongst one another when it comes to that. It's the same team. And Obi will get his time. He has to put in the work to constantly show. I know we're not happy with some of the stuff that Tibbs does, but right now that's who we got. Am I happy with everything that Tibbs does? Oh, but no. But I'm willing to bet that Obi's probably somewhere working out right now to work on the things that we say that he can't do, that a lot say he can't do. Just like Randall is working on the things that he didn't do last season to get to where he is. See, right here, I'm not bashing either one of them, just looking at it from an objective position. We're going to be better, but this draft is kind of being dictated already. We're kind of getting an idea of who we're going to get by who we brought in. So look at it like that. It can kind of give you an idea. If they swing out of left field and pull one of these names in, I'm pretty sure we're going to all be doing backflips and pop locking like Boogaloo Shrimp. But just stay patient and enjoy this time that's coming. And peace out, and thank you again. And I'm Scout 209. I'm gonna be there with you on Thursday. I'm gonna check y'all out.
I'm saying, well, then that goes for any of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know you're gonna be busy, ready, but I'm just saying, like, for future reference, the door's always open, fellas. But you got a super duper platter.
Oh yeah, my fault. Appreciate it, man. Sub, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was breaking up terrible. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But it's all right. It's all right. I know, Sub, you with us. Anyway, I was just reading what was going on in the chat, man. Chat was getting a little wild. Hope everybody's good, man. Everything's love. You know what I mean? Like, let's respect each other and just hope that our Knicks do the right thing. Definitely shout out to Paris Stugger. Appreciate you for the generous super chat, man. He said Mitch is a sign and trade piece, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's the reality of everything right now. Unless, and I've said it from the beginning, unless Tom Thibodeau himself was to go to Mitchell Robinson and say, look, I need you here. I want you here. We want to make you a bigger part of the offense, give you some things so that you can feel more included and be involved. And we're going to give you the bag. I don't see him staying because, I think he wants a little bit of both. It's not just about money. I think he wants to be included. I mean, Mitch why do we keep seeing videos every offseason of Mitch working on 3-point shots and doing little different layup stuff that he's? What's the point? Why does he keep showing that to us? Because he never gets to do it in the game. There's a reason behind it. So, yeah, man, I'm just thinking like I hope something happens with that for Mitch with the Knicks. But if it don't happen, I'm sure we're gonna be looking back and be like, damn, look how Mitch is balling for Detroit, yo. Look what he's doing out. That's what's gonna happen. So
how happy were we when he took the ball to the bucket on Charlotte?
Yes. That was nice.
And we lost our mind. A lot of us lost our mind when we saw him do a move. It was like, what is this?
It's there,
right?
He don't use it, but it could be on him too, because during the games though, you'll hear Tibbs tell everybody shoot it. He says it to everybody, so it's on Mitch too.
Facts. So Hinton, you got any final word? And shout out to my guy Hinton. Listen, guys, Hinton is one of the smartest guys in these chats. I mean, be on these panels. Man. He was extra quiet today. Like he said, he was observing. He jumps in, but Hinton be having some words, man. So
thank you, man. I just want to say thank you. It's a blessing to be on your show. Thank you for having me in there. We almost there, but it's still going to take some patience. Because once you get to play, it's still going to be at least 4 years before conference finals appearances or even finals appearances. So it's going to take some time. So we still have to. So like Soulfinger said, we're all on the same team here. So we all want to go in the same direction. That's a championship. So, but thing is that we all have different visions of it, and that's why we do these things. But it's good to come together as Knicks fans and just be one happy family.
Facts. And shout out to Ashley Inc. Salute to you, appreciate you, and my man Cully. I swear, as soon as I said when I bigged up the show, Cully popped up. It's like he heard it. He's like, salute to y'all, man. Salute to C-Mac, man. _ my dude. What's good
in the building? C-Mac.
Yeah, man. C-Mac's funny, man. He be cracking me up. All right, well, guys, once again, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate y'all. Before I get up out of here, I want to make sure, once again, telling you this Thursday, we got the MBK draft party in Atlantic City. It should be a really fun time. There's going to be a bunch of people that, your content creators that you love to see. Some of them will be there, as many can make it. There's definitely going to be some people that you see in the chat, fellow people that you agree with or go back and forth with, they're going to be there. So it should be pretty fun. I'm going to have a great time once again, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I got a house down there, so I wish I could make it. So
2 years running, right? 2 years in a row running, right?
Yeah, this is the second one. Last year was very cool, man. This year is going to be better.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to make it.
Yeah, let me throw this in there real quick.
The second annual NBK draft party in Atlantic City. There'll be a live podcast, live DJ, live video shoot. $40 for a VIP ticket, $30 for draft night only. Get your tickets now.
Get your tickets now.
Yeah. I wish I could make that. I got a house over there in EHT, so it's like 15 minutes away.
Listen, it's always hopefully it's always next year, man. So it should be pretty fun. And next year we hope to get, like, hopefully next year John from Still Knick Fans will be there. We hope to get Andy all the way from Poland to be there next year. So I look forward to everything. We'll see how it all works out. So thank you guys once again. Thank you, Subliminal, for rocking with me. Soulfinger, my man Hinton, Marvin, appreciate you. Don P, appreciate you. Jay Boogie was here. Shy Money was here. I think I got everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. But if I did, I apologize. I'm old. Well, thank you guys for rocking with me. Stay tuned. There won't be a Still Knick Fans Weekly this Monday. So we're just going to give you the third installment of the draft series on Tuesday. Will be a mock draft. And then you'll see us Thursday live with MBK at the draft party. So let's go Knicks, man. Let's hope for the best. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm excited. So this has been great. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me once again. Thank you to everybody. Oh, Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie, my guy. I knew there was somebody I was leaving out. Jay Boogie was on as well. Thank you, Jay Boogie, as always. Luck Charm 22. Oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second, guys, because he asked for a link to Diaz Ballin's channel. I'll do that real quick before I get out of here. Let's see. There we go. All right, let me put that in the chat right now. Boom. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. That's the link to D's World of Hoops channel, his new channel that he's got right now. So definitely, click on that, like, comment, subscribe. Salute, man. He's been putting a lot of stuff, and he's been putting a lot of draft videos for some of the guys that we're interested in. It's good to hear how these kids, young people, conduct themselves and carry themselves, and some of these videos are the ones that are like the breakdown videos where they get to see their game and see the mistakes they made and what they could have did differently. So definitely check it out, man. So once again, appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. It's been real. Let's go Knicks, man. Hope for the best. We out of here.